believe I know. After all, we put a lot of sweat into this restoration.
No, this is a Dodge Ram. I recognize the grill.
Light's just playing tricks on you.
This is a quad cab. My old truck was a two-door.
2 words, blowtorch.
Making your dream truck a reality is easy. The redesigned Dodge Ram 1500 with an available Hemi featuring fuel-saving MDS. Grab life by the horns. 15 city, 19 highway, EPA estimated MPG, depending on model.
Hey, Lynn. All this for that final fling for Julie and her friends?
Yeah, Greg and I wanted to do something, to get them all together one last time before college.
Great idea. Now, Lynn, you won't be allowing alcohol at this party, will you?
Oh, no way. Most parents have the good sense to know it's illegal to serve teens alcohol at parties. Nope, no alcohol.
Just checking.
No matter the occasion, it's never okay to host a teen drinking party. When it's time to celebrate, prevent, don't provide alcohol to minors. A message from Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
And we are back on LSU Game Day presented by Cox Sports Television. It's now time for the game plan, and let's go back over to Tiger Stadium where Doug Morrow is standing by. Hello, Douglas.
Hello, Kevin Ford once again. What a great evening for football in the South. Feels like it's about 115 degrees out here in Tiger Stadium. That's because the humidity level is just stifling. This is a midsummer's day evening. It's the kind of night, really, that has become prominent in Tiger Stadium lore, where teams from drier climates will come in here and totally wilt in the humidity as they play the LSU Tigers. And unfortunately for the Tigers, the team coming in here tonight is also from a similar place down in New Orleans, the Tulane Greenway. But we're looking forward to bringing you the game. It ought to be a great one as the LSU band is out on the field entertaining the fans here prior to kickoff. We're about 11 or 12 minutes ahead of kickoff, and a lot to go by the band before we get there. First thing I want to do is to give you the lineups for tonight's game. Those lineups are brought to you by Whitney Bank. It takes a Whitney banker. For the Tulane Greenway, they will start on offense, the wide receivers, and they'll run a spread offense. So sometimes they've got 4 of them in there. I'm going to give all 4 of them to you. Jeremy Williams, number 20, a freshman, 6'2", 175. Preston Brown, a senior, 6'4", 232, and that's big size for a wide receiver. Kenneth Guidro, 6'3", 209, a junior. And DeMarcus Davis, who was the most outstanding receiver for the Tulane team, 6 feet, 189, a senior. The left tackle, Troy Kropog, a sophomore, 6'4", 287. Arian Bartow, the left guard, 6'4", 262, a junior. Michael Parrington, the center, 6'3", 292, a sophomore. Donald Madlock, the right guard, 6'4", 295, a senior. And Derek Rogers, the right tackle, 6'5", 309, a senior. The tight end will be Jerome Landry, 6'4", 260, a senior. The quarterback, Lester Ricard, formerly of LSU, now the Tulane quarterback and an outstanding one, 6'5", 222, a senior. Matt Forte is the running back, 6'1", 224, a junior. Defensively, Tulane will start across the front. Antonio Harris, Frank Morton, Avery Williams, and Billy Harrison starting in place of Sean Carney, the normal defensive end starter. Those are the 4 front guys. The linebackers, Terrence Peterson, a senior, 215. Evan Lee, a sophomore, 6'1", 230. And James Dillard, a sophomore, 6'1", 220. 2 sophomores that are starting. In the secondary, Israel Rout, who was an excellent kick returner also. Joel Gooseby, a junior. Carlos Jackson, a junior. And Jeremy Foreman at the other cornerback. He is a senior. LSU band down on the field spelling out the letters LSU to the west side crowd. The stadium is, I would say, not going to be full tonight. A lot of folks probably staying home to watch it on Tiger Vision with the weather being the way that it is. We expect maybe a few more to come in here as the LSU alma mater is being played. Let me give you the LSU defensive starters. Tyson Jackson at left end. Ricky Jean-Francois played an awful lot last week against Auburn and had an outstanding game. We expect we'll see a lot of him. Glenn Dorsey, left tackle. Marlon Favorite, the right tackle, and Chase Pittman, the right end. The linebackers, Ali Highsmith, Luke Sanders, and Derry Beckwith, who is not a surprise, but has had an outstanding season so far, and one that you'll hear an awful lot about tonight and the rest of the year. Jonathan Zenon is listed as the starter at corner, although he suffered a concussion, and if he does not start, we expect that Daniel Francis will start in his place. Jesse Daniels, Lorine Landry, the safeties, Chevis Jackson, the other cornerback. Craig Davis offensively at 1 wide receiver, Saron Black, the left tackle, Will Arnold at the left guard, and his normal backup, Herman Johnson, will move to start at right guard in place of Brian Johnson. Brett Helms will be the center. Pete Diakowski, the right tackle. Keith Zinger listed as the starter at tight end. Don't know that he's going to be the starter. I think it'll be Richard Dixon. Zinger has been out for a couple of weeks with a stomach ailment, but he is expected to play. Dwayne Bowe at the other wide receiver. Jamarcus Russell, the quarterback. Justin Vincent listed as the starting running back. But I think you're going to hear Jacob Hester, Ali Broussard, Charles Scott, and Vincent all playing. And at fullback is going to be Sean Jordan when there's a fullback in there. LSU band just finishing the alma mater, and let's see, I think we're getting to the point where we're going to hear the national anthem, and when that begins, certainly we're going to send it down to the field so you can listen into our national anthem. There you hear it, the national anthem played by the LSU Tiger Band, entertaining these fans here pre-game. I'm informed by our local meteorologist, Kevin Ford, that the temperature is 86. But look, that's offset by a heat index of 94, which feels like about 144. 94 is plenty high, I can promise you, if you've never experienced it. No rain is near the area right now. Bo Bonson I spoke with pre-game, and he was concerned that it might shower a little bit before the folks got in the stands, but as he looked at the weather radar, indicated that he didn't think that was going to happen, was very pleased. We expect it to be a rain-free night, and hopefully it will be, but the humidity is such that it feels like rain anyway. People are going to have moisture and humidity all over them. That's just the way it goes in Tiger Stadium. It's now time for the Chrysler Jeep game plan. Chrysler, inspiration comes standard, and Jeep, go everywhere, do everything in a Jeep Grand Cherokee, Liberty, and Wrangler. Well, let's talk a little bit about this game tonight. Tulane's offense versus LSU's defense. Tulane's key is Lester Ricard, 6'5", 222 pounds, a senior, had an outstanding sophomore year. He is a better than 60% passer, but he had obviously a tough year last year, as everybody at Tulane did, with going all over the country to live, to play games, no continuity whatsoever to their entire season. So that season goes out the window. Ricard rebounded to his sophomore season form last week against Mississippi State, leading Tulane to a 32-29 victory, and he's going to be the key. He can run it, he can throw it, he's got an outstanding arm, good accuracy, good touch on the football, and he's the guy that's going to have to keep Tulane in the game if they're going to be there. He's helped an awful lot by Matt Forte, a junior, 6'1", 224. He's averaged almost 100 yards a game so far this season. His per play average is right at 5 yards a carry. So he's the kind of guy who can give LSU fits along with a passing game. And Tulane runs a spread offense concept, and LSU, every team as a matter of fact these days, has trouble with it because it puts the quarterback in the running game. It puts him as the extra runner. It also has a lot of counter and misdirection, and teams that are great pursuers, as LSU is, can't pursue as quickly as they could normally. It's given LSU trouble last year, of course, in the Appalachian State game when Richie Williams gave him fits. Even in the first game this year, ULL gave him a little trouble during the course of the ball game. And so LSU is going to be challenged a little bit by a different type of offense. LSU's team coming out on the field, you hear the crowd roar. The Tigers wearing their purple jerseys tonight, gold pants, purple jerseys, and their regular gold headgear. LSU's offense versus Tulane's defense, well, Coach Miles mentioned to you that he wants to have a balanced offense, and I think LSU can be as balanced or unbalanced as they want to be tonight. It won't make any difference if they just give some effort. Tulane gives up an average of 485 yards per game, 171 of those rushing. So, Tulane can maybe put LSU in one position or another, but frankly, sometimes one team has to stack up to stop the run, but they give away the pass when they do that. Sometimes they want to stop the pass, they give away the run when they do that. I frankly don't know if LSU plays half decent, if Tulane can try anything that can stop anything that LSU wants to do. It's simply a physical mismatch. That happens to be the way that it is. That is the way that it should be, but that's the way it should have been in Athens, Georgia today, when Georgia at the very last minute came back and they beat Colorado. So, Jim, referees coming out to the field with the LSU and Tulane captains.
Yeah, Justin Vincent, Jesse Daniels, Dwayne Bowe, Chris Jackson representing LSU. They're heading out to the Eye of the Tiger. Let's go down to Jordy for the toss of the coin.
Thank you very much, Jim. Doug, it's a sultry night here, and as the captains get ready to exchange handshakes, we will go over the coin toss and see if LSU can get this one.
You going to call the toss? What are you going to call? Tails. You're going to call it tails, guys. It's a head. You want to like to defer. You want to defer?
Receive.
So there you have it, the Tigers. After Tulane calls for tails, it comes up heads. Chris Jackson said we want to defer. The captain for Tulane, Brown, said we'll take the football. LSU will kick from right to left this time on your radio dial. So, Jim, Doug, time to forget about the past and start anew tonight against the Tulane Green Wave.
Looking forward to it. I believe that LSU is 4-0. Now, I think they've won every toss this year, I believe, and have deferred every time, and that's exactly what they did here again tonight, Doug.
And that outstanding cover team for LSU, if you look back just 1 week against Auburn, made the first tackle at the 14-yard line. Bradley Dale Pivotal, the special teams coach, in addition to the linebackers coach, I think has put together in the time that he's been here, a year and 3 games, about as outstanding a group of special teams as LSU has ever had. It's been tremendous in all phases of the game. They have not scored in the kicking return game this year. They didn't score some of last year because teams started kicking away because of the early success. But they're so sound, they're very well coached, they're fundamental, they put good athletes on the team, and then they're become passionate in the manner in which they approach their job. So I really believe they like to kick off. If given the choice, they probably would kick off because they end up pinning opponents inside the 20-yard line, sometimes inside the 15-yard line. And with the great LSU defense that they've developed this year, they can keep teams back on their heel. Last week, the problem, of course, was that they didn't have the offensive proficiency that they needed to have in order to sustain a drive the entire way. And Cody Bliss, the Auburn punter, kept them pinned up most of the ball game. That's not going to be a factor tonight. Tulane is not Auburn, but any team that has 11 guys out there playing your 11, if you let them stay in the game, they can make it competitive. What LSU would like to do is come out and make it as non-competitive as quickly as they can so that they have an opportunity to do exactly what they want to do and experiment with some of the young players, because it's going to be a tough schedule coming up in the conference starting after this week, and LSU's got to get ready for it with some depth. Chris Jackson is getting ready to tee the ball up, here to give you the play-by-play. The voice of the Tigers, Jim Hawthorne.
All right, let's quickly pause 10 seconds for station identification on the LSU Sports Radio Network. And the opening kickoff brought to you by Centos, the uniform people. Back deep to receive for Tulane, Ray Boudreaux, and Chris Jackson says forget about that as he kicks it out of the back of the end zone. Well, that was a line drive that went out of the back of the end zone, and so Tulane will start 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line. Jackson now, 7 of 16 kickoffs have been touchbacks as he really hit that one well. And so we'll have the first play of the ball game at your neighborhood Associated Food Stores. You'll find everything you need for the next tailgate party. So go ahead and sack them, Tigers, at your neighborhood Associated Food Stores. Ricard, 30 of 48, 62%, 454 yards and 5 touchdowns. He's thrown 1 interception. And they'll start out in a shotgun. 2 receivers left and 1 right. On running back there is Forte waiting on the snap. Tigers show blitz. He fumbled the ball. It's on the ground, and Ricard falls on it back at the 12-yard line. Well, the Tigers showed blitz, and Ricard just could not handle the snap. I think I'm not sure what he was trying to do. I don't know if he was trying to hand off or not. It looked like Forte ran in front of him and just messed him up, and he didn't handle the football.
Yeah, I think he just didn't get a good handle on it, and he was going to fake to Forte, but he tried to fake to Forte before he had the ball in his hands. He ended up juggling it, almost kicked it away, pounced on it, and he's back on the 13-yard line. So right at the beginning, 2nd and 17 for Tulane.
Now spread formation, 2 receivers left and 1 right. The lone running back, Forte. Ricard, the quarterback, will go under center. On 2nd down and 17 from the Greeny 13. Short drop to throw. Ricard does throw. It is incomplete at the 15-yard line in the direction of number 11, DeMarcus Davis. Zenon was there defending, so he's in the ball game tonight. He's got 3 picks, 2 of them for touchdowns this year.
And if that pass had been well thrown, he would have had another pick. Yep. He was right there, and it was a hitch pattern. It was about a 3 or 4 yard hitch pattern by DeMarcus Davis on the right side. Zenon was up tight on him and in a position, had the pass been thrown properly, to make the interception.
Tulane 24% on 3rd down attempts. LSU allows 26% of opponents' 3rd down tries. It is 3rd and 17 from the Greeny 13. Shotgun formation, trip receivers left and 1 right. Short drop by Ricard. He throws. It is dropped at the 12-yard line. In and out of the hands of number 81. That is Preston Brown. And so Tulane goes 3 and out, and will have to punt it away.
LSU running that same defense they ran against ULL. You know, against the spread offense, they've got 3 linemen there. They'll put an extra defensive back. They'll back up everybody else. They end up with 3 guys up front. But that time they rushed 7 because they rushed 2 safeties and 2 linebackers in addition to the front 3.
All right, it's here is Barrett Pepper, who is in the punt. He is not listed as the number 1 punter. That is Beckham. If the numbers are right, he's standing at the goal line, and he gets it away. It is an end-over-end wobbly kick, and it gets a great Tulane bounce, and that thing is rolling like a ground ball all the way down inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. It was a wobbly, low-line drive, and it ended up being a 53-yard punt and gets Tulane out of a great big hole. LSU will start at its 34-yard line. Let's go down to Jordan.
Well, Jim, the defense has set the tone early. That's the perfect start for this team and for these fans. If there was any dwelling on the past, that has subsided. Now, can the offense generate something, get it down the field, and put points on the board? Very important early in a game like this.
All right, the Tiger offense headed out onto the field. They will have it 1st and 10 at their 34-yard line. Bowe will flank to the right. That's to the far side. Buster Davis is the near side flanker. Justin Vincent is the lone running back. Russell goes under center on the first offensive play of the game for LSU. Play action fake. He drops back deep to throw. And he throws it across the way to Bowe, who grabs it and goes down immediately up around the 48-yard line on the far side of the field. So Russell, who was 46 of 72 coming into the game for 718 yards, 5 touchdowns and an interception, fires for a first down on the first offensive play of the game. Bowe caught it and slid down. He had 11 catches coming into the ball game for 209 yards.
Play action pass. Bowe ran a deep out on the right side. Russell got the ball there quick under heavy pressure from the backside for an LSU first down.
14 yards on it. Receivers on both sides. I formation now. Russell, again, short drop to throw. Throws on the far side out of the hands of Davis. That one was not thrown very well. Davis was open at the 45-yard line, and Russell threw it off his fingertips, incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Tiger fans, Best Western would like you to attend LSU's 2006 home finale against Ole Miss on November the 18th. To register, visit bestwesternlouisiana.com for your chance to win tickets to the game and an LSU gift pack, compliments of Best Western Louisiana. Good luck and go Tigers. And tonight's game sponsor is Cox Communications, your friend in the digital age. 2nd and 10 for LSU. Tigers will go with a shotgun. 2 receivers left and 1 right. Vincent is a running back there with Russell. Waiting on the snap. Here is Doucette in motion with the end around. He comes to the near side, tries to turn the corner, and does. He's at the 45, and he is down at about the 44, about a yard short of the first down on the near side of the field. That was Buster Davis on the end around. I said Doucette originally. It was Buster Davis who had the ball coming to the near side of the field, and it will bring up a 3rd down. I actually say he went down just across the 45, so it's 3rd down and about 2. Jeremy Foreman, the cornerback, made the stop. LSU 53% on third down. Tulane allows 46% completion rate. No score in the ball game. 12:20 to go in the first quarter. LSU sends Vincent and LaFell. It's a 5 receiver pattern. 3 to the far side, 2 to the near side. Shotgun formation. And Russell looks to throw, and he does. It's caught by Boa, and he's got the first down at the 32-yard line. And the Tigers are coming out throwing the ball tonight.
They sure are, and they came out on what traditionally for LSU would probably be a run-pass down. Third down and about 3 yards to go, and they would put in a couple of backs, a couple of tight ends, and every now and then pass it, but prefer to run it. On this play, 5 receivers in the ball game, shotgun spread formation, quick post to Dwayne Bowe on the left, first down LSU at the 31.
14 yards on the play, receivers on both sides, I formation. There's a toss on the far side. Bowe, they got him one-on-one, and that's a great tackle. An outstanding defensive play as Bowe got isolated one-on-one on Jose Lumar, the cornerback on the far side, and he just would not allow Bowe to get around him.
Lumar made a really nice open field tackle, Jim. You're right. Bowe just got the quick pitch on the outside, and the play was designed so that he would have time to create running room. Lumar came up and made a sure tackle because he was the only guy out there.
A pickup of about 3, second down and 7. Lone running back, man in motion, coming to the near side, now reverses to the far side, and here's a toss, and right up the middle goes Justin Vincent, and he weaves his way down inside the 25 to about the 24-yard line, where it will be third down and about 4 for LSU. Maybe a little less than 4. Vincent had 68 yards and 22 rushes, 3.1 average coming into the ballgame tonight.
This is an interesting looking little play that's got an eye back in it. Justin Vincent set back behind the quarterback. Russell took the snap out of the tee, pitched it straight back, and Vincent ran straight ahead after catching the pitch. Never went sideways one way or the other.
Shotgun formation, 4 receiver pattern, 2 on each side. Vincent is back there with Russell, who has the snap and looks to throw the ball. Has a lot of time and throws it. It is caught. It just stays in bounds on a nice play. That's Brandon LaFell. Wait a minute. Another official ran up and overruled the play.
Well, the first official who had the look at it from behind LaFell called it a complete pass. The back judge came in, the side judge came in from the goal line, and he overruled it. I don't know how you can do that so quickly unless he convinced the other guy that he must have been wrong. But if he was so convinced he was wrong, why did he call the pass complete in the first place?
Well, we've been talking about that for 2 weeks, plays like that. We just need to stop it. Maybe LSU is going to get this one reviewed. Let me ask you, Doug, in college football, how many feet has to be in bounds?
1.
All you have
to do is touch. The only thing they might have called it is that if he did have 1 foot that landed in bounds. If the other foot touched out of bounds first or at the same time, that would have been the only reason to not be a completed pass.
Based on the replay that we saw, he obviously caught the ball, took a step, and then the other foot landed out of bounds. Now that's what we saw.
I have a feeling this is going to be a season-long discussion. Here, not only in our booth, but all across America. Certainly across the Baton Rouge part of America.
Well, it really gets a little bit old having one official overrule another one. I'm a little bit tired of that. Let's go down to Jordan.
Well, I'm listening. I'm standing right here, and the referee's saying, okay, so he had possession of the ball, and he's shaking his head yes.
And he had a foot in bounds.
So I believe they're going to overrule the overrule.
Well, they should.
And it's going to be a completion.
They should. The guy just absolutely messed the call. Yeah, so the guy that overruled it did not know what he was seeing. So it's a first down for LSU. And it will be a first down at the 13-yard line. First and 10 Tigers, hash marks to the near side of the field. The pass complete to LaFell. Opening possession of the game for the Tigers. It started at their 34-yard line. Tulane took the opening kickoff, lost 7 yards, and punted. And that's where we are. LSU will send trips out right to the far side. LaFell is the lone receiver to the near side. Justin Vincent, the lone running back. Russell is under center, first and 10 on the 13. And he hands it to Vincent, who tries to get the corner, and they just cannot do it. cannot get the corner and cut upfield. And he's down at the line of scrimmage, and that has been a problem for the LSU rushing game this year.
Well, you know, it's tough to get outside always. If you have a dominating blocker on the outside that can seal the corner where your running back can actually physically get outside of the outside defensive man quickly, that's one thing. But if you're running to the sideline with him, it's just never going to work, because all he's got to do is push, 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 and he's going to end up running you out of bounds. At some point, you've got to cut back, and you're cutting right back into the defense.
Got a yard, 2nd down and 9 from the 12. Harrison and several others in on the stop for Tulane. Now trip receivers to the right, lone receiver to the near side. Vincent the lone running back. Russell under center. Short drop to throw. Does throw across the way. Completes the screen. This is Doucette, and he is.
That's a touchdown. He was in there.
Now we see the
great block, by the way, by Dwayne Bowe on the outside there. Doucette was in the slot as a flanker, and on the snap he ran to the sideline, just like this bubble screen to the outside. That's very much what it was, because the pass is completed in the backfield. Dwayne Bowe downfield in front of him could be blocking, as could Craig Davis. Both of them did. Paved the way for him to score the touchdown in the right corner.
And Cole David will try for the point after, as the Tigers were in the red zone and moving ahead and have scored. Here is the try for the point after. It is up and through. 9:28 left to play in the first quarter. It's LSU 7, Tulane nothing on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Hey, Tiger fans, show your Tiger pride and keep LSU beautiful on game day. Here are 4 easy ways you can help. Mike likes a clean yard, so be sure to use the LSU trash bags and litter cans. Save our oak trees. Don't park on the roots. Keep our families safe. Leave glass at home. And put your aluminum cans in the LSU recycling bins. LSU is a leader in game day recycling efforts. Let's all work together to keep LSU beautiful. Thanks, Tiger fans.
The Southeastern Conference Education Initiative has impacted more than 2 million elementary and middle school students. Utilizing the SEC mascots, this interactive web-based program teaches math and language, as well as motivates students, improves test scores, and inspires an interest in higher education. Now, in its 5th year, this valuable resource features challenging content enhanced by 3D gameplay graphics. For more information, visit secsports.com or learningthroughsports.com.
Well, the Tigers, as we said, were in the red zone and scored, moving ahead, just like the Louisiana Economic Development Association. And here is the U.S. Agency scoring drive. 10 plays, 66 yards. They used 408. And the touchdown pass was a 12-yard pass from Russell to Doucette. And, Doug, we were a little late waiting for the touchdown call because the official who was standing right at the goal line that you and I were both looking at never made a motion.
It didn't signal. Doucette went across the goal line at such an angle that he had to clear the pylon and have the ball inbounds to cross the plane of the goal line. And the official in a position to see whether he did that didn't make the signal. Another official who saw down the goal line, he's the one that ultimately made the signal, but it wasn't made right away. I guess he was trying to get a signal from the one on the sideline. Did he step out of bounds? And having seen that he didn't step out of bounds, that meant it was a touchdown. So it counted anyway, whether it was late or not.
That is
he
right.
got it.
Bell South is a proud supporter of college athletics. Go Tigers. Bell South listening, answering. We're going to have the Ask the Announcer question here in just a little bit, presented by the Hilton Capitol Center in downtown Baton Rouge. First of all, Chris Jackson will kick off from right to left, and Boudreaux is the deep man back again from Tulane. Jackson kicked it out of the back of the end zone a moment ago. This one's going to go 8 yards in deep, and they're going to take a knee, and Tulane will start there for the second time. All right, here is this week's from a question from Charles Roosevelt of Abita Springs, Louisiana. That is, why is it every time LSU plays Auburn? Oh, my goodness. My goodness.
I see it coming, Jim.
Why is it every time LSU plays Auburn, there's always 1 or 2 plays that makes a difference in the outcome? Log on to www.lsusports.net to submit your questions and be eligible to win a 2-night stay at the Hilton Baton Rouge Capitol Hotel. Okay, we'll tell you here in just a minute. 1st and 10, Tulane at their own 20. 2 receivers right and 1 left. Lone running back is Forte. Ricard hands it to Forte, and he gets about 4 yards as he goes right up the middle, and none of the Tigers could get a good handle on him, and before it was over, he had 4, and they'll put it down, I believe, right at the 24-yard line. 190 yards on 41 rushes with a touchdown. Marlon Favorite and Tyson Jackson made the stop. And the reason that happens because both of them are always good teams, and every time 2 good teams play, the outcome is normally determined by 1 or 2 plays in the game.
Yeah, I'm going to expand on your answer after this play because it's a good question, actually.
2nd and 4. 2nd and 6 after a gain of 4. Split back formation, receivers on both sides. Ricard, play action fake, rolls to the near side, has plenty of time to throw, does throw, complete, and down at the 29, short of a first down. The pass was complete to Ratliff, number 5, the Tulane receiver.
All right, you ready for me to take my shot at it, Jim?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's because in games like that where you have 2 evenly matched and well-coached teams, every play is important, but because every play is important, it comes down to noticeable plays, and you're going to notice, you will pick out the 1 or 2 that you think made the difference. I guarantee you there are a bunch of different people after watching those games. They pick out different plays as being the difference maker, but everybody's going to come up with 1 or 2 or 3 of them that made the difference.
3rd down and 1. 3 receivers right and 1 left, lone running back. Ricard under center. Ball at the 29-yard line. Toss weight to Forte. He is in deep trouble, loses yards, knocked out of bounds at the 27. He could not get to the outside.
Great play by Ollie Highsmith over there, Glenn Dorsey over there, Chevis Jackson over there. LSU's pursuit. Forte got the pitch, and as he got to the point of attack and said, you know, they got too many guys over here, I'm going to cut back. Chevis Jackson came from the backside with a great position on him, and the pursuit ended up with about 4 or 5 people knocking him out of bounds for the loss. Tulane having to punt it away.
And it is Pepper again who will stand back around the 13-yard line. Chevis Jackson standing at the LSU 33. And he dropped it. It's rolling on the ground back at the 4-yard line. He is in deep trouble, and he gets off the punt. My goodness, what a great effort by that young man. It stops at the 39-yard line, but that is just tremendous hard and great effort that he got that thing off. He was hit, knocked around, he picked up the football, still ran away from the Tiger defense, and got off a 12-yard punt.
Now, Jim, let me tell you about Barrett Pepper, because this is not the first time this has happened.
All right, you can tell me when we come back.
I'll tell you when we come back.
Time out of the ball game. 7:29 left to play in the first quarter. It's LSU 7, Tulane nothing on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
The Southeastern Conference represents the best at intercollegiate athletics. Last year, the SEC produced 6 national champions and finished in the Final Four in 14 of 20 sports finishes, while sending 159 league teams to postseason competition. In addition, 460 SEC student-athletes earned first-team All-America honors, and 71 young men and women were crowned individual national champions. The Southeastern Conference, equipping tomorrow's leaders today. The ultimate source for SEC merchandise online is SECstore.com. With more than 6,000 items, this exciting superstore features the best selection of conference and school apparel and collectibles. Authentic SEC Champions locker room caps and t-shirts are available online exclusively at SECstore.com, along with specially designed products for ladies and children. Be sure to check out the weekly promotions and the best selection of SEC merchandise on the World Wide Web at SECstore.com.
Will start 1st and 10 at the Tulane 39-yard line, and Doug, continue your story there.
Yeah, Barrett Pepper is actually the backup to Chris Beckman, who's the normal punter. Beckman was injured last week. Pepper had to come in against Mississippi State. First time back there to punt. Perfect snap right through his hands. Mississippi State takes it in for a touchdown and starts their comeback, and they almost caught Tulane. Here he is early in the game. Same thing happens, ball right through his hands. He did a great job getting rid of the punt, though. LSU first down at the 39-yard line.
Charles Scott is in at running back. Play action fake Russell. Back to throw, and he does, and it is caught and down on a knee. Buster Davis caught it, and he goes down immediately at the 18-yard line. Boy, I'll tell you, Jamarcus Russell is having fun out there tonight. 21 yards on that one. Let's go down to Jordan.
Well, Charles Scott is in at running back. In case you didn't know, Trendon Holiday is coming in. And not that either one of you need to lose weight, but I've got a new weight loss plan for both of you. Just come down here on the floor of Tiger Stadium. It's a freaking sauna.
Hey, we already got one, man.
Woo!
Just set out in Tiger 1 for 2 hours. All right, here is Russell, and he hands the ball away to Scott. And he only gets about a yard and a half trying to go over the offensive left side, and he's stacked up there by the Green Wave, who disallowed any further advance. Gooseby, the strong safety, was in on the stop, along with several others, including number 93, who was in there for Tulane. And that would be Taurine Brown. Gain of a yard, second down and 9 for LSU at the Tulane 17. 9 rushes, 86 yards, and a touchdown. Scott, shotgun formation, 2 receivers right and 1 left. And a handoff again, and the end around again. This time it is Doucette. 15-10, 5, touchdown! Second touchdown of the night for Doucette.
Boy, this is a well-executed play. LSU they had more blockers on the play than they could find people to block. Doucette was split out to the right side. There was a handoff to Charles Scott, an inside handoff by Jamarcus Russell. Scott started a sweep around the right side. Doucette is coming the other way. He reversed it to Doucette coming around the left end, led by 2 linemen into the end zone. Touchdown, LSU.
Cole David will try to tack it on. The extra point. There's a snap, and the kick is up, and it's good. David has such a sweet swing, hitting the extra points in the field goal. 6:20 to play in the first quarter, 14-0. LSU leads Tulane, the LSU Sports Radio Network.
How'd you like to win a pair of 2007 LSU season tickets? Well, just log on to AbitaSprings.com and register. No purchase required. Winner will be chosen by drawing at the end of the 2006 season. And here's another way to win. Redeem any Tiger water label when you order great-tasting, healthful Abita Springs water and get a case of convenient Go Anywhere half-liter or 12-ounce bottles free delivered to your door by the Abita Man. Visit AbitaSprings.com today.
Cox Sports Television brings you a new look this football season with all the same great teams our fans expect. The LSU Tigers return with conference games against Auburn, Florida, and Tennessee, and CST has all 12 full game replays Sundays at 5 and Wednesdays at 7. Saturdays, it's live college games throughout the day, plus the award-winning highlight show CST Tonight at 10 p.m. Check local cable providers for specific CST channels or visit CoxSportsTV.com. Catch the Tigers and big-time college football this fall on CST.
I have a lot of things to tell you about. The Tigers were in the red zone again, and they moved ahead just like the Louisiana Economic Development Association and scored the touchdown. Here is the U.S. agency's drive chart. 3 plays, 39 yards in a minute and 8 seconds. 17-yard touchdown run by Doucette, and the point after by Cole David. And because of the well, that makes the score now. We're looking over something else we were supposed to read here. 14-0. LSU leading Tulane with 6:20 left to play in the first quarter, and it's going pretty much like we thought it would, Doug.
Yeah, it probably a little bit quicker, considering the fact that Tulane got the ball first to start the game. 6:20 remaining in the first quarter. LSU leading 14-0. And Jim, you know, there's going to be a lot of discussion by folks about LSU coming out and passing the ball on first down and, you know, just kind of opening it up. It's been a lot of conversation this week about, gee, why didn't LSU do that the whole game?
Well, so they're doing it.
They
asked them to do it, they're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, this is terrific. This is really fun to watch because you get to showcase Jamarcus Russell's arm, and Tulane, poor souls, are not very good in the secondary.
Smith and Boudreaux back deep. This time it's going to come up short. Hits at the goal line from Jackson back to the 5 to the 10 and down hard at the 15-yard line. Oh, my goodness. Craig Steltz. And also in on the stop for LSU, number 44, Danny McCray.
And Fred Smith was returning the kick. Wishes he had not. He's a youngster from Destrehan, and I think he wishes he had just kind of stayed back there where he was. That's one of those coverage unit deals where, you know, when you kick it through the end zone, they get it on the 20. If they catch it in the field of play, you stop them at the 15, and that's what LSU's special group has done so well for the last 2 years.
2 receivers left out of the I formation. Ricard under center. Here's a man in motion coming to the near side. Long snap, Ricard is being pressured. He throws, complete on the far side of the screenplay. Forte, and he breaks one tackle, and he did great effort. He's got the first down up across the 25-yard line. I mean, he just flat got that on his own. He caught it back around the 15, and the Tigers had hold of him. They just couldn't bring him down, and that is their first down of the game. They'll put it down at the 27-yard line. As we watch it again on the replay, it's just a great effort by the young man.
And good blocking by Tulane out front. Forte lined up at the tailback spot. At the snap, he ran laterally to the sideline, took a swing pass with blockers out in front of him. Just a little quick screen out there. Good blocking for Tulane, first down, just outside their 25.
4-receiver pattern. Forte is back there as Tulane sets up in a shotgun. Waiting on the snap, he rolls to the far side and throws it out complete and out of bounds as he caught it at the 30-yard line, a short gain of about 3 yards on the far side of the field. That was number 81, Preston Brown. And it'll be second down and 7, and that stops the clock with 4:56 to play in the first quarter, and LSU leading 14-0.
And that's a mismatch. Preston Brown matched up on Jesse Daniels that time. Brown 6'4", 230. Daniels about 5'11", and you can tell right there who's going to have the advantage.
Shotgun formation, 2 receivers right, 1 left to the far side with Forte back there with Ricard. And there's a snap. He drops to throw, steps up in the pocket, does throw, incomplete, up around the 35, tipped away from the intended receiver Davis on a nice defensive play by Daniel Francis.
Very, very nice. Francis trailing Davis, who's lined up on the left side, ran a post pattern. The ball was fired in there, and Daniel Francis was in a trail technique, and he dove, put his hand out across the path of the ball to bat it away for an incompletion. Third down and about 7 yards to go. Ball located right at the 30-yard line on the left hash mark.
And the Greenies will send 2 receivers right and 1 left. Split back formation. And Ricard will go under center. Tigers have 5 at the line of scrimmage and play action fake. Ricard backing up and throws. It is caught for a first down on a very nice play. Up around the 38-yard line. He kept backing up. The Tiger defenders kept coming, and he fired the pass on the far side of the field, complete to Batiste. He was tackled immediately, but it is another Tulane first down.
Michael Batiste, a sophomore from Breaux Bridge, who crossed all the way across the field from the right side. Ricard had enough time. He was under pretty heavy pressure, but he waited and waited, and Batiste made it all the way across the field until he came open. Ricard fired it in there for the first down.
Terry Beckwith made the stop for LSU. 4-receiver pattern out of the shotgun now. Tulane sends a man over on the near side and sets up now 3 receivers flanked out on the right side. There's a snap and the handoff to Forte, and he gets about 3 yards and is down at about the 40-yard line.
Chase Pittman in on the tackle, made the first contact and really made the only contact as he fought off a blocker, came down from behind to pull him down, Jim.
And so as we approach the 4-minute mark of the first quarter, it'll be second down and 7 after a gain of 3. Actually, they put that ball all the way up to the 41-yard line. Tigers have scored both times. They touched it the first 2 times. Tulane had to punt, but they picked up 2 first downs. This series that started at their 15, they are now at their 41. Receivers on both sides. A lone running back, Forte, as Ricard will go under center, moving from left to right. LSU shows blitz. And here they come. And Ricard rolls to the near side, looking for somebody to throw to. Throws it way downfield, and it is incomplete. The receiver fell down around the 20-yard line. That was Davis, who got back there isolated for just a moment, and he fell down and over a Tiger defender, and that may be Landry. No, it's Daniels, and he is late getting up. Maybe he's just unhappy because he didn't intercept it.
This was a great fake by Ricard. LSU had a blitz coming as Ricard looked at the line of scrimmage on Ricard's left. He had a fake reverse, then a pass, which was going to fake the reverse to the left. So he made a great run fake. All of LSU's blitzers went to go tackle the faking split end coming around. Ricard rolled to the right. He had an open receiver. The pass was overthrown.
Third down and 7, shotgun formation. 3 receivers right and 1 left. Forte back there with Ricard, who has changed the play. Now he sets up. There's the snap. Here comes the Tiger rush. He throws under pressure, incomplete, up around midfield. And boy, he was punished by Beckwith just about the time he threw the football. No chance on that one. 4th down, the Greenies will have to punt.
Well, Ricard is going to be sore, and he knew that was going to happen. He's going to get hit an awful lot. Gary Beckwith did a real fine job of getting in fast, but when he saw Ricard got rid of the football, he pulled up. He made contact with him and tagged him pretty good, but he didn't follow through and drive him to the ground. Had he done so, I feel quite sure he would have gotten flagged.
Pepper standing back around the 27, and there is the kick. Chevis Jackson is back. It's a line drive that, again, takes a very good Tulane bounce. Goes all the way down to the 20-yard line. So Pepper, it doesn't look pretty coming off the foot, but he gets good results. 39 yards and no return. And LSU will put it in play at their 20. Tiger fans need to know that law enforcement agencies are cracking down on drunk drivers, and they're using random DWI checkpoints to get the job done. DWI checkpoints are popping up everywhere, so if you're drinking, let someone who's not drinking do the driving, because if you do drink and drive, you're going to jail. A message from Tiger Athletics and the Louisiana Highway Safety Commission, and Bell South is a proud supporter of college athletics. Go Tigers. Bell South listening, answering. All right, Scott is back in at running back. Receivers flanked on both sides, and Russell hands the ball away to Scott and breaks it into the open field down the far sidelines. He's still going and is knocked out of bounds. Actually, they say he stepped out of bounds around the 40-yard line on the far side of the field, and that's the quickness from an LSU running back that we've been looking for.
And you look quicker when you're playing against the Tulane, but Charles Scott does bring a dimension of quickness that LSU just really hasn't seen from the two guys that have played the most, Justin Vincent and Ali Broussard. And I think LSU's coaches, Jim, are trying to give Scott a lot of work because they figure he is going to be necessary when they get into the heavy conference schedule to be played an awful lot. Meanwhile, LSU with an injury coming off the field, Saron Black, the left tackle, who it looks like he's okay. I don't know if he hurt his shoulder, got dinged a little bit, or exactly what. He's over here talking to the coaches on the sideline, and if he's okay, of course, we're going to see him right back on the next play.
1st and 10 Tigers from their 40. I formation, receivers on both sides. Hester is in there now at fullback. Play action fake. Russell wants to throw. Sets up in the pocket, throws towards the near side, and it is caught. They're going to wave that one off. Say he was out of bounds, and that was a good call. It was just a little bit overthrown. Bo did all he could down around the Tulane 40-yard line to stay in bounds, but he could not quite do it.
Play action fake, and actually Jamarcus Russell waited a little bit too long to get the ball out there. Bo was over on the sideline, and he was kind of waiting as he was moving towards the sideline. He couldn't go much faster, or he would have run out of bounds, and the ball just didn't get there quite in time.
Russell 6 of 9 for 74 yards. Receivers on both sides now, and a lone running back on 2nd down and 10 from the Tiger 40. Russell hands it to Scott, and Scott bounces off of one tackler but cannot get to the outside and is bowled over at the line of scrimmage for no gain. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Nice job by the Tulane defense that time. As in there to hit him first was number 21, and that is Jeremy Foreman. Then he had help from Josh Mitchell, number 37. Tigers 2 of 2 on 3rd down attempt so far. They got 3rd down and 8 coming here. And a flag. Well, we apologize. We can't hear the official. They don't have the booths wired for the officials yet. But we can tell you that LSU was penalized 5 yards. I'm not really sure why. Was it too many men on
guys?
the field?
Yeah, they ended up with 12 people in the huddle.
That's too many.
Richard Dixon was coming off late, and you can't come off late because the defense has to be able to match up personnel.
3rd down and 14. 4-receiver pattern. And Russell is back in the shotgun. There's a snap. Here comes the blitz. He has a lot of time, and he throws it, and it is out for the hands of Doucette, who maybe should have caught the ball at the Tulane 33-yard line. Perfectly thrown between two defenders. Doucette got a hand on it and could not make the catch.
I think Doucette should have caught it. He had gone down from the right side and cut across the middle of the field. A defender flashed across about a second before the ball got to Doucette. I don't know if that distracted him, but the pass ended up hitting him right in the hands. He just didn't make the catch.
Chris Jackson is back to punt. He's punted 8 times, averaging 41.8. Fred Smith is back for Tulane, standing around the 20. There's a snap, and Jackson hits a high, wobbly spiral, and he's going to make the catch and then get drilled. Boy, that was a mistake. Spadoni just leveled him at the 15-yard line. Well, he will feel that one for a while. 48 yards, no return.
Well, perfect punt coverage. LSU with one of those bizarre spread punt formations where they split out about half the line off to the right side. Of course, because they have eligible receivers out there, Tulane's got to honor that. And so they've got to move their line out there. It minimizes the number of rushers you have to contend with as the punter. So it's an interesting philosophy, and LSU doesn't do it all the time. Worked very well that time, and it gives the cover guys a running start instead of getting blocked at the line of scrimmage.
Lone running back, 2 receivers left and 1 right. Ricard under center. LSU loads up at the line of scrimmage. And the handoff is to a Forte, and he goes down for may not have made it back to the line of scrimmage. At about the 15-yard line, and Tiger charge was led that time by Charles Alexander, number 91. And he had help from several others. Luke Sanders, I believe, was in on it along with Glenn Dorsey. Incidentally, Glenn Dorsey was the SEC Defensive Player of the Week for the 2nd consecutive week. That doesn't happen very often. Dorsey leads the team with 6 tackles for losses, including that tremendous hit last week on Kenny Irons. 2nd down and 10. 1:13 to play, first quarter. 14-0, LSU leads Tulane. And the Greenies, I believe, will call timeout. So we have a timeout of the ball game with 1:08 to go in the first. As we said, it's LSU 14, Tulane nothing. We'll be right back on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Today we salute you, Mr. Hot Dog Eating Contest contestant. What does it take to eat 24 hot dogs in 12 minutes? Determination, fortitude, and a complete disregard for what they actually put in a hot dog. Open wide. What's for dessert? 9 pounds of antacids and 7 hours of routine angioplasty.
My left arm feels tingly.
So crack open an ice-cold Bud Light, oh diplomat of the dog.
Mr. Hot Dog Eating
Bud Light beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Imagine a world without Cintas Uniforms, the home electronics store.
Hi there. I bought a satellite dish here, and I don't even know which way to aim the darn thing. It looks like I'm going to need your help.
Whoa, be careful where you aim that dish, man. They're out there, and they're listening.
You don't work here, do you?
Put your staff in Cintas uniforms and your business will get instant identity. Cintas can handle any uniform need for any business. Call 1-800-CINTAS-1 or visit Cintas.com today. Cintas, the uniform people.
1:08 to play, first quarter, 14-0. LSU leads Tulane. The Greenies have it 1st and 10 at their 16-yard line. Following LSU's first punt of the night. Forte is the lone running back. Receivers on both sides. Ricard, Lester Ricard is the quarterback. Under center. Little tough luck on the exchange. He rolls around in the pocket and lobs the ball way over the head of the intended receiver down around the 35-yard line. Looked like he mishandled the snap a little bit, and it actually was to his benefit. It threw the LSU defense off. The pass was thrown up around the 35-yard line and well over the head of whoever the intended receiver was.
There's Jerome Landry out there, his tight end. And hardest pass to throw. The receiver's running directly away from him, and he kind of lofted the ball up over his head. You got to be absolutely perfect, and then if you throw a perfect pass, the receiver can't see it because he's running directly away from you. So it was doomed from the beginning. 3rd down and 10.
And they'll line up in a shotgun this time. 2 receivers left, 1 right to the near side of the field with Forte in the backfield with Ricard. And there's a snap. Here comes the Tiger blitz. Ricard is in trouble, and down he goes at the 10-yard line. The Tigers got there. Outstanding play by Charles Alexander, and he had help from a couple of others. As Allie Highsmith was also there, I believe, and they all showed up at about the same time, and Tulane will have to punt it away.
LSU had people surrounding Ricard. He had nowhere to go in the pocket, and he just kept looking for a little crease where he could take a step. It ended up where he could not, and finally Charles Alexander drew a bead on him and knocked him down in the pocket for a big sack. 4th down for Tulane with Piper, the punter, standing halfway deep in the end zone.
Barrett Pepper standing about 5 yards deep. 20 seconds left in the quarter. And Travis Jackson around the 45. There is a line drive, and this one is returnable. Jackson's got it. They lose 1 tackler and then is tripped up at the 34-yard line. He dropped it and quickly fell on it. That is a 31-yard punt And a 7-yard return. Let's quickly go to Jordy.
Well, LSU made a nice adjustment that time. They've been realizing that the Tulane punter has not kicked the ball very far in the air. As you've mentioned several times, he's gotten great bounces. That time, they moved Jackson 5 yards closer. That's why he was able to catch the football. No long roll.
Well, we may not have another play in the first quarter. It's down to 5 seconds. Russell is at the line of scrimmage. Receivers on both sides, I formation, and they are going to run the play. The pass across the way is complete to Bowe, and he is out of bounds just inside the first down marker at about the 24-yard line on the far side of the play. And that is the end of the first quarter of play. With the score, LSU 14, Tulane nothing. When we come back, LSU will have it 1st and 10 at the Tulane 24 on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Can I find a doctor who agrees that watching the Tigers counts as cardio?
At Auctioner, you can. We're the official healthcare sponsor of LSU Athletics and a proud supporter of the community. We can care for your every need, routine or more serious, in one of our 30 friendly, convenient locations in Southeast Louisiana. At Auctioner, healthcare with peace of mind can be yours. To find out how, call 1-866-AUCTIONER or visit auctioner.org.
Welcome to the World Poker Tour. We have a great lineup tonight, ready to play a new lottery game, $100,000 Hold'em Poker.
Well, it's all on Earl Thomas.
He's got it! $100,000 Hold'em Poker. Here's Lisa with more chances to win.
Enter our 4 second chance drawings to win World Poker Tour merchandise and the ultimate poker experience. The chance to compete with poker professionals.
Visit your lottery retailer for more details.
You must be at least 21 to purchase.
I knew he'd come in handy someday.
Mom.
Here's a true story about true savings from State Farm.
I never knew his good grades could get us a discount on car insurance.
I never knew our son could get good grades.
Our State Farm agent always looks for ways we can save money.
Like with the good student discount.
Dad, if you get me a car, we could get another discount.
Nice try.
Find a State Farm agent today in the Real Yellow Pages from Bell South or visit statefarm.com.
Like a good neighbor.
State Farm is there.
14-0 as we start the second quarter. LSU 1st and 10 on the Tulane 23. Here are the first quarter stats brought to you by Dodge. Get somewhere, grab life by the horns. Dodge, LSU 7 first downs, Tulane 2. Total of 127 yards for the Tigers, 20 for the Greenies, 53 running, 74 passing for LSU. -8 running, 28 passing for Tulane. The nice moment just a moment ago. As former Heisman Trophy winner and great running back for LSU, Billy Cannon, was brought out onto the field with his daughter and granddaughter, I believe. And were introduced, got a great reception, as well he should have. Our 2 receivers on the left side out of the I formation. Russell hands the ball away to Scott. He breaks it outside, 15, look at him go, 10. He is down to the 8-yard line. 1st and goal to go for LSU. Charles Scott, really impressive running the football here tonight.
Scott got outside quickly once again. He took the handoff. LSU in an I formation. Sean Jordan, the leading blocker, kicked out the containment on the outside. Scott took the handoff right through the seam, and then he set up a couple of blocks on the outside, cut back in to make it inside the 10-yard line, right about the 8, 1st down and go.
15 yards on the play. Doucette's the lone flanker on the near side. That's to the right out of the I formation. The toss to Scott, and he's trying up the middle, and he's into the end zone for the score. He just ran by would-be tacklers. That's his 2nd touchdown of the year.
Well, that makes it look easy, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
LSU has come out firing on all cylinders, starting throwing the football, and they've opened up the running game, so everything is going to end up being balanced. Looks real nice, and, of course, it's an awful lot easier when you're playing against these guys than the guys that were there last week, but it is fun to watch.
And Cole David will try for the point after. And the kick is in the air, and he hasn't missed yet. 14:32 to play in the half. LSU leads Tulane 21-0 on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
The Southeastern Conference is committed to the welfare of all its student athletes. Last year, the SEC distributed more than $2.1 million from the NCAA Special Assistance Fund and the NCAA Student Athlete Opportunity Fund. These programs exist to provide direct financial benefit to student athletes competing in all 20 SEC-sponsored sports. The Southeastern Conference, equipping tomorrow's leaders today. During the past 74 years, the Southeastern Conference has established the most outstanding college football tradition in the country. The 12-member institutions have combined for an unprecedented 343 bowl appearances. Key to the success of SEC football is support of the many loyal fans who have helped the conference lead the nation in total attendance for 25 consecutive years. The SEC salutes the more than 6 million fans who will attend a game at an SEC stadium this year.
And here is the U.S. Agency's scoring drive. U.S. Agency's low-cost auto insurance. 3 plays, 34 yards, 37 seconds. Scott did most of it. He ran it in from 8 yards out for his second touchdown of the year. He has rushed 5 times for 46 yards already in the ball game. And, of course, in order to do that, the Tigers were in the red zone, moved ahead and scored, just like the Louisiana Economic Development. 21-0 Tulane. Tough to keep that young man out of the ball game, isn't it, Doug? Charles Scott.
And I tell you, our economy is going to be doing great guns if we keep going like this.
Got to move ahead. Just
Economic Development Authority is
just exactly
they're moving
like
way forward.
You betcha. Let's go down to Jordy.
Well, that just not change the trend of thought. How would one of you two like to be a guy by the last name of Tiffin and have to go to class in Alabama on Monday? 1 of 4 in field goals and misses an extra point in the second overtime, and the Crimson Tide lose to Arkansas.
Well, hey, look, he just needs to call John Vaughn.
Yeah,
wow.
Look, and John Vaughn can tell him how to do that.
If you read in the paper, in about 6 years, Jordy, the law firm of Tiffin, Cerna, and Vaughn, don't hire him. Don't hire him for a high-pressure case.
Holy cow.
All right, Jackson will kick off again, and he does. And again, that's going to be way back deep in the end zone and fielded on the run by Fred Smith. And Tulane will start again at their 20-yard line. That's pretty incredible, and you hurt for a young man that happens to.
Sure.
I mean, that's he's the son of a terrific kicker.
Family long line of kickers at Alabama, the Tiffins, and you hate to see that happen in anybody's situation.
You bet.
Having been there, I can assure you it's not pleasant.
We can make light of it, but I guarantee you it stings for him. 2 receivers left and 1 right. Lone running back this time is Ray Boudreaux in there for the first time for the Green Wave. 1st and 10 at their 20. Trailing LSU 21-0 here in the second quarter. Lester Ricard still in at quarterback. And he rolls and he tosses the ball out on the pitch just as he is hit. And still on his feet. Great effort by Boudreaux. I mean, he was drilled over there hard and then spun away for a gain of about 2 yards before Zenon, I believe, finally knocked him out of bounds.
This is one of those spectacular 2 or 3 yard runs you've ever seen. LSU had it well defended. It was an option pitch to the right. That's how desperate they have become, where they're having Ricard run the option.
Yeah, and actually it was Jesse Daniels that knocked him out of bounds.
So they picked up, 3.5 yards on the play, which is one of the better gains that they've had. 14:03 remaining here in the second quarter. LSU 21, Tulane 0.
Tulane at their 23, moving from right to left, at south to north. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers left and 1 right. There's the snap, and there's the handoff, and up to the 25-yard line goes Boudreaux. Second consecutive carry, and for the second time, he got about 3 yards. Big pile up, led by Highsmith and Jean-Francois, Ricky Jean-Francois. And it'll be 3rd down and 4. Ball is at just short of the 27-yard line, right in the middle of the playing field. 13:35 to play. First half, 21-0 LSU. 2 receivers flank to the left, 2 receivers flank to the right. Boudreaux is back there with Ricard in the shotgun formation. 4-man front for LSU. Ricard delay handoff and gives it away, and that's a first down as Boudreaux runs over Tiger tacklers up to the 37-yard line. That's a well-designed play by Tulane, and They caught the Tigers on the blitz, and they gave the ball to Boudreaux, and he ran right by the Tiger tackler.
And Boudreaux has added a little life to the running game. He has run through some tackles. Forte was the guy that we thought would be the workhorse for him, and he has been up to this series, but Boudreaux has made several runs. This one to pick up a first down at the 38-yard line for Tulane, and really the first time, Jim, that Tulane has shown anything offensively in this game.
He is 5'10", 200-pound junior is Boudreaux. He is the lone running back with receivers on both sides. Ricard under center on 1st and 10. Straight back to throw, has time in the pocket and throws it way down the near sidelines, and it is thrown out of bounds. Down around the LSU 35-yard line in the direction of number 81, Preston Brown, but it was out of bounds. Daniel Francis and Chevis Jackson and Jesse Daniels were over defending.
No chance at all. The pass was thrown out of bounds. LSU had it covered. Had it been thrown inbounds, likely would have been an interception. Just about perfect convergence of the two defenders there on Brown, the receiver, going down the left sideline. So it'll be 2nd and 10 for Tulane from their 38.
12:42 to play. First half clock is stopped. 21-0 LSU. Split back formation. Ricard under center. Tigers with a 4-man front. And they hand off to Boudreaux, and boy, he breaks it through there again, and he is still going down to the LSU 44, and Tulane has suddenly found a weapon as the Tigers unable to stop him.
And this is Forte on this.
That was Forte.
Put Forte back in Boudreaux's place. Boudreaux coming back out. Boudreaux was in the game, and Forte also, both on the play. Boudreaux now coming out of the game, but both of them now, as LSU has been made a little bit vulnerable to some running plays, and I know that they don't like that one bit.
And Tulane is in LSU territory at the 45. 3 receivers left and 1 right. Shotgun formation. And here is Ricard back to throw. He does, and it is caught and hit after a gain of only about 2 yards. It was Preston Brown as the ball was thrown right over the middle, and he is wrapped up by Jesse Daniels, who got there first, and then he had help from a couple of others, including Derry Beckwith. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 7 after a gain of 3. Beckwith leads LSU with 23 tackles, including 2.5 tackles for losses this year. 2nd and 7 at the Tiger 41. This may be the deepest penetration for Tulane, and I believe that it is. 2 receivers left and 1 right. Forte is the lone running back behind Ricard, who has changed the play. Now he goes back under center. Straight back to throw, and he does, and it is batted into the air, incomplete by Zenon at the 30. It was intended for King, and Zenon knocked it into the air, incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down around the 30-yard line.
The receiver was split wide to the right, ran a sharp post pattern to the inside. Zenon on him the entire way, and as the ball got there, Zenon either made contact with the ball or with King to knock it loose. 3rd down, about 7 to go for Tulane at the LSU 41.
Ricard is 5 of 13 for 31 yards, and it is 3rd down and 7. 3 receivers left and 1 right. Ricard in the shotgun, straight snap, lots of time to throw. Down the middle, he's got a man wide open, and he cannot hang on to it. I'm telling you, he was absolutely open. Jeremy Williams, but Jesse Daniels got there just about the time the ball did.
Well, you know, the receiver on that play, he ran up the seam on the left side. It looked like he was wide open, and he's not supposed to be that open at any time. He's got a linebacker trailing him. But Daniels did exactly what he's supposed to do. He plays center field on that pattern, and when he sees the guy coming down the seam, he drifts over, times himself with the arrival of the ball as he did there.
He punished him.
Oh, he did punish him. The pass was well thrown. The receiver was open, or looked like he was open, and actually he was, but paid a heavy price for an incompletion.
Pepper standing around the 45 to punt it away. And this one is a high wobbly spiral, and they're going to let it roll, and it does roll into the end zone for a touchback. A 41-yard punt, no return. LSU will start at their 20-yard line with 11:08 to play in the first half. Napa Auto Parts has Castrol GTX conventional motor oil on sale throughout September for just $2.19 a quart, and Gum Out concentrated fuel injector cleaner is just $1.59 after rebate right now at Napa. And tonight's game is brought to you in part by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Napa Auto Parts, a proud sponsor of the LSU Sports Radio Network. Dodge, grab life by the horns. Jeep, isn't it time you got up close and personal with nature? And Chrysler, inspiration comes standard. Bell South is a proud sponsor of college athletics. Go Tigers. Well, did they call a timeout? I guess they did. A little bit late for us to take it. With 11:08 to play in the first half, and LSU leading 21-0. It has been pretty much as expected. The LSU offense moving the ball.
And we would expect to see, Jim, I think, maybe some substitutions for LSU offensively, although I don't see any out there in the huddle on the sideline. With a 21-0 lead and total domination of the ball game. Of course, Charles Scott has played an awful lot, played the last 2 or 3 series offensively, and so he's gotten a lot of work, and that's a good thing because that's one of those things LSU will need when they get deep into the conference schedule, to have not only the depth, but they have the explosiveness that you see in his running style, and sometimes those young guys step in and they look real good, and all of a sudden the older guys whose place they're playing in decide that they might want to work a little bit harder or do things a little bit differently. So there's a good chemical effect on the team oftentimes. Scott back in the game here, and looks like Coach Miles wants to give him an awful lot of work and make him the feature back in this offense.
Well, the Tigers have 161 yards and Tulane 59 total so far in the ballgame. 1st and 10 Tigers at their 20. 2 receivers right and 1 left. Scott is the lone running back, and Russell has gone all the way at quarterback. And we're waiting for the opportunity to resume play, and here we go. Russell under center, hands the ball away to Scott, and Scott breaks across the line of scrimmage up to the 24 for a gain of 4 on the play. And it'll be 2nd down and 7. Knocked off his feet around the 24-yard line as they are not hesitating to give the ball away. He was knocked off his feet by number 36, James McMurchie, for Tulane. 2nd and 6. 3 receivers to the right and 1 left. Scott is the lone running back, and Russell goes under center. Clock is running with 10:33 to play in the half. Hand off again to Scott. Nothing this time. Maybe 2 to the 27. That's it. And it'll bring up 3rd down and about 5. With Chrysler, you get the best in American and German engineering and design, so hurry to your local Chrysler dealer today where inspiration comes standard. 3rd down and 2 for LSU.
Scott ends up picking up more than he looks like he's getting. You know, he falls forward whenever, he got stood up one time earlier in the game, but generally he falls forward. He'll pick up another yard and a half. As he's going down, he keeps those legs moving.
Doucette in motion to the near side out of the shotgun, and Russell, what in the world is he doing? He's going to run it himself. He runs out of bounds on the far side of the field. That had to have been a busted play there. Russell looked like he might want to hand it to somebody, and then he looked like he might want to throw it and saw that he couldn't do anything. And so he scrambled out of there and scrambled for the 1st down and ran out of bounds on the far side of the play.
You know, it may have been a quarterback draw that just didn't get blocked well. And he tried to step up in there, and the hole that was supposed to be there wasn't there, and he stepped out and around to the left. Very nimble the way that he got out there and picked up the 1st down because it sure looked like he was going to get sacked.
Nice job. Receivers on both sides. High formation in the backfield. And Russell under center. Play action fake. Back to throw. Now he's going to have to step up in the pocket. He throws complete. This is Scott, I believe, who caught it, and he's running down the near sidelines. Still going. Finally, he is weighed down up around the 49-yard line. He just dropped it out to the near side. Scott coming out of the backfield, caught the ball, broke away from one would-be tackler down around the 40 and was at the 49 before he was gang tackled by a whole bunch of white-shirted people. 16 yards on the play, and a very nice job.
And this is something that Jamarcus Russell does that he could not do last year, and that is as he starts to scramble, he's looking for secondary receivers, which Charles Scott was. He just had drifted out into the flat on the right. He was a safety valve with the reception.
That was his first catch of the year. Russell, a play action fake, is back to throw again, way down the field in the direction of Bo, and he comes back to it and couldn't hang on. Ball was underthrown, and Bo had to come back for it, and it was knocked away by Lumard down around the 10-yard line. If Russell put a little more air under that, that's a touchdown.
Bo was split out to the right. He just ran a streak up the sideline, and Russell was trying to lay the ball out there to the outside. He threw it just a little short.
Yep.
Had he thrown it maybe another 2 yards, Bo would have had the ball in his sights with no Tulane defender able to make contact. But as it was a jump ball, and the Tulane defender went up and made contact with the ball about the same time it got to Bo's hands.
Second down and 10 from the LSU 49-yard line. And a pass across the way to Davis. He's isolated one-on-one under the defender. Breaks the tackle down the far sidelines. He has the first down out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Buster Davis, nice job. They tried that earlier in the ball game to isolate a receiver, Doug, and the Tulane defender did a good job. This time, when Buster Davis caught it, he was able to juke the man and pick up the first down.
And this is just the quick pass out to the sideline. Buster Davis split to the left. Just on the snap, he just turned and looked towards the quarterback, Jeremy Foreman, out there, missed the tackle on him, and Davis picked up the first down.
Here's Hester in motion. Straight drop is Russell. He's going to lob another one down the near sidelines, and it's incomplete. That should have been interference. You hear the crowd. That was in the direction of LaFell, and the Tulane defender had his arms all over it.
Now this is, we're going to end up talking about last week on this play, because this would be a perfect thing that you want to call defensive holding. The pass actually was not a catchable pass.
Maybe that's
the way it was thrown. But when you have a hold of the receiver, in this particular case, that's not what made it uncatchable, but that's defensive holding.
That was Sheehan back there. And it's second down and 10 for the Tigers at the Tulane 38-yard line. 8:55 to go in the first half. 21-0. LSU leads Tulane, and the Tigers will call a timeout. Timeout of the ball game with 8:55 to play in the half. LSU 21, Tulane nothing on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
The Southeastern Conference will return to the Georgia Dome for the 2006 SEC Football Championship game. This event began in 1992 when the SEC became the first conference in college football history to establish a title game. You can be a part of this exciting event as festivities begin December 1st and culminate with the 2006 championship game December 2nd in Atlanta. Don't miss the Dr. Pepper SEC Fanfare, the Hyatt Regency Atlanta Coaches Luncheon, and the SEC Legends Dinner presented by Singular as the SEC celebrates the tradition of the football championship game. The Dr. Pepper SEC Fanfare is the place to experience the fun and excitement of the SEC Football Championship game. Enjoy a great meal at the Timeout Grill and support your favorite team at the SEC Championship Superstore at this year's Fanfare. You don't want to miss favorite attractions like the Press Box Stage, the SEC TV Experience, and the Celebrity Quarterback Challenge. Located in Hall C of the World Congress Center, Fanfare is just a short walk from the Georgia Dome. Be a part of the SEC Championship experience at the Dr. Pepper SEC Fanfare.
8:55 to go in the half, 21-0. LSU leads Tulane. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Well, here's the Bell South Yellow Pages trivia of the game. Matt Fletcher of Baton Rouge answered last week's question correctly. Who was the last Tiger to rush for over 200 yards in the game? And the answer is Allie Broussard back in 2004. Now, here is this week's question. Where did LSU's nickname Tigers originate from? Where did LSU's nickname Tigers originate from? Email your responses to trivia@lsu.edu. And a lucky winner will receive a prize pack from Bell South Yellow Pages. When you need information, there is only one place to turn, the real Yellow Pages, and yellowpages.com from Bell South. Second down and 10 Tigers at the Tulane 38-yard line, moving from left to right. LSU will have three receivers flanked right to the near side of the field, one left. And freshman Charles Scott is the lone running back behind Jamarcus Russell when we resume play. LSU has a couple of touchdowns from Doucette and one from Scott. All right, Russell under center, short drop to throw, fakes to the near side, throws a very bad pass. Man, he had Buster Davis wide open at the 25-yard line, and he threw it into the ground.
Well, he was. This was a fake, actually the same pattern that he threw the touchdown pass to early Doucette, who was in the slot, ran toward the sideline. Same thing in this play. Buster Davis, instead, though, of blocking in front of Doucette as he did on that play, he ran a post pattern. He was absolutely wide open. No one picked him up. He just missed. Russell misfired. First bad pass I think he's thrown all game.
He'll work out of the shotgun this time. 2 receivers right and 1 left. Scott, the running back, and LSU moved. That is Diakowski. He jumped, stood up. Very obvious. That'll cost LSU 5, and now it's 3rd and 15. With 8:50 to play in the first half. Game is kind of slowed to a crawl, hasn't it?
It has. It has. LSU's throwing the ball a lot and actually completing it a lot, but because of the number of first downs, the clock stops some, and it's it's a blowout. Of course, that could change. I don't think it will.
All right, here we go. Shotgun formation. 2 receivers right and 1 left. On 3rd down and 15 from the Tulane 43-yard line. Russell barking out signals. Now has the football. Drops back to throw. Tulane is coming. He throws off the middle, complete to Doucette. And Doucette is stopped at the 35-yard line. Well short of the first down. It'll bring up 4th down. That would have been a first down. But the Tigers unable to get back the penalty yardage. And let's see if they go for it down at the 35-yard line. Jackson and Lumar in on the stop for Tulane. 4th down and about 7. So they got about 8 on the play, and, why not go? And they are at the Tulane 35-yard line. 8:14 to play in the first half. Jacob Hester checks in at running back, and he's back there with Russell, and the Tigers line up 4 receiver pattern, 2 right and 2 left. This is the 2-minute formation. And there's the snap. Big blitz coming. Russell has to throw quickly. It is caught on a great catch by Bo. Breaks 1 tackle, but then goes down. But that is a first down. That is terrific on both ends of that one. Boy, Tulane had somebody coming untouched, just bearing down on Russell. And he unloaded it just before he got there, and Bo made a terrific catch, shook 1 tackler, and then finally was brought down, but the Tigers got the first down.
Dwayne Bowe continues to make his presence known, and his LASIK surgery is, it's going to be the showcase for all LASIK surgeons around the country. They're going to want to have Dwayne Bowe as the poster boy because it certainly has brightened up his career.
Russell tosses the ball out to Scott, and Scott is working his way to the outside and goes down around the 23, 24-yard line as the Tulane helmet comes off. And Scott over the offensive left side gets about 5 or 6 yards on the carry. Bowe tonight, 5 catches for 49 yards. Foreman and a couple of others in on the stop for Tulane. Harrison, among others. Gain on the play of about 4, so it'll be 2nd down and 6. Here is LaFell flanking the lone flanker over on the right side, the near side of the field. Now a double tight end formation. And an I formation in the backfield. Russell goes under center and hands the ball to Scott, and Scott goes right up the middle and is very close to, and I think has the first down at the 14-yard line. Charles Scott continues to run well for LSU. Let's go down to Jordy.
Well, I think a message is being sent, and hopefully it is being received by one Ali Broussard, who the coaches are still upset at for the fact that he is about 15 pounds overweight. He keeps going to the chow line and not working hard enough on the practice field for their favor. And because of that, Charles Scott's gotten his opportunity and so far has capitalized on it.
Yes, he has. 1st and 10 LSU at the Tulane 16-yard line. Lone receiver, LaFell to the right side. Russell again hands to Scott, and Scott pushes his way up the middle, breaks a tackle, pulls one with him, and he's all the way down, still going hard to the 5-yard line. Boy, they just could not get him down. He kept his feet going and finally had to weigh him down very close to another first down. The Tigers are in the red zone and moving ahead like the Louisiana Economic Development. Foreman and Kelly and others in on the stop, but that is very close to a 1st and goal for LSU. They're going to say 2nd down and inches.
Outstanding run here. Scott took the handoff behind the lead block of Sean Jordan, but then he cut back and pulled 4 or 5 tacklers an additional 3 or 4 yards down to the 5-yard line.
Lone receiver again, flanks to the right on 2nd and inches. Again, a handoff to Scott, and Scott is down to the goal line. Ball came loose. Let's see if they rule it a fumble or not. A big pileup Apparently they do call it a fumble. The officials are down trying to see who got it. Tulane's got, here's the ball way over here. A guy from Tulane is way away from the pile holding the ball. There's nothing at the bottom of the pile. I mean, that's kind of a strange thing there.
Yeah, but the officials didn't see it, so they can't call it.
But, you know, I've never seen that before. They were unpiling the pile, and a guy from Tulane was standing way away from the pile holding up the football saying, yeah, here it is. Well, from the replay that we saw, we could not see the ball come out. So let's look at it again from another angle and see.
Yeah, this is an I formation right up the middle. No question the ball came out. No question. And as to who got on it,
well, this
like
guy got
Tulane
it right there,
guy.
and he comes out of there with it holding the ball. So that I believe that the ball is going to go over to Tulane, I think. Well, no, it's not. It's not. And LSU is going to, or is it? Let's go down to Jordan.
Well, Chris Selfo, the Tulane coach, is talking to the referee at the 20-yard line. He wants to take a timeout and get it reviewed, and I think that's what's going to happen.
Well, and I think if they review it, Tulane's going to get the ball. So we'll take a timeout with 5:37 to play in the first half. LSU leads it 21-0, but Tulane apparently is going to get the ball at their 1-yard line after a Charles Scott fumble. We'll be back after this on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
84 Lumber is proud to be a sponsor of the LSU Tigers, and we're also proud of the dedication and commitment of the people of Louisiana to rebuild the Gulf Coast. At 84 Lumber, we are committed to helping Louisiana and the region rebuild. With a network of 7 stores, a component manufacturing facility, and a team of nearly 700 dedicated professionals, we have the products and the know-how to help both professional contractors and do-it-yourselfers. 84 Lumber. Build on what we know.
More Americans choose Chevy than any other brand. No surprise there. Once you drive a dependable, long-lasting Chevy truck, what else would you choose? Chevy, America's #1 brand, America's #1 value. That's an American revolution. See your Super Chevy dealer today.
Well, they're reviewing the play. We believe, based on the replay that we saw, that Charles Scott fumbled the ball, and Logan Kelly, number 35, came out of the pile with it. Here's what was so interesting about that. He's standing back well away from the big pile up, holding the ball, saying, here's the ball, I got it. We can't hear the official. But apparently LSU's going to retain possession. Well, Tigers may have jumped over a snake there. So it'll be 1st and goal to go at the 2-yard line. You saw the play that I saw, didn't you? Was that this game?
I saw the, yeah.
Okay.
You know, I saw some plays last week, too, that I can't believe the result of. You told me not to talk about that, but you asked the question.
No, I asked about this game. Here's a man in motion coming to the near side, and a handoff straight ahead to Hester. He tries hard, but he does not get into the end zone, trying to go over the offensive right side. Now a flag goes down. Tulane, I think, is going to get flagged. Jordy's telling us this from down on the sidelines, that Cody Sparks, number 41, may have come in there with a late hit. If the penalty is against Tulane, it would be against Tulane's number 41, who would be whistled for the penalty. Let's see. Personal foul. Nope. It's against LSU. I have no idea what he's saying. Can you tell, Doug? Jordy, I'm going to have to call on you. What happened?
He ejected Sean Jordan, I'll tell you that.
We'll have to see if Jordy, who was the one that told us that the foul was going to be on number 41, Cody Sparks.
I want to review this one.
Of Tulane, and they have thrown out number 40, Sean Jordan of LSU. Well, how could he make a late hit?
He was on the ground, and 41 hit him on the head.
Is Jordy on the air? Okay, you can hear what Jordy's saying. That he was on the ground, and number 41 speared him. But for whatever reason, Sean Jordan has been ejected from the ballgame. And LSU has been moved and penalized all the way back to the 15-yard line, where it will be 2nd and goal to go from the 15. Strange things keep happening. Yep. As far as flags, that's just amazing. All right, shotgun formation. Receivers on both sides. Russell drops to throw. Does throw over the middle, complete to Buster Davis, and he's down at the 5-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and goal to go. Pass over the middle to Davis. And the clock will continue to run with 5 minutes to play in the first half. Dillard, the weak side linebacker, in on the stop, along with number 12, and that is Jose Lumar.
LSU really doing nothing spectacular in the passing game, just executing a pretty basic, they're using the entire field. They've thrown to the sidelines. They've thrown up the middle. They've run post patterns.
Yep.
They've run a couple of swing passes.
Shotgun formation here. This is the 4-receiver pattern, 2 on each side. Hester is a running back, and Russell has to throw quickly. It's caught, touchdown. Doucette with his 3rd touchdown of the night.
And this is a great little pattern by Doucette. Doucette was in the slot. He went into the end zone. Now, he was covered by a defender head up. He hooked up, and as the defender went to cover him, Doucette then, after he stopped initially, then sprinted to the inside of the field, and the defender bit. It was a fake. It was like a stop-and-go pattern, but it was run horizontally rather than vertically up the field. Very nicely designed and executed for the score.
Cole David will try to tack on another one. Matt Flynn puts it down with not a good snap, but they convert it anyhow. Nice job. And with 4:25 to play in the first half, LSU now leads it 28-0. And LSU will kick it away. Tigers will be at home next week, and in case you have not heard, it will be an 11:30 kickoff next Saturday. We'll be on the air at 9:30 from Tiger One with our pregame show. So just plan on coming out early.
You're looking forward to that one, aren't you, Jim? You just going to stay here Friday, or are you going to get up real early Saturday?
You really want me to respond to that? Oh, that'll be fun. It's, regardless of when you play the games here in Tiger Stadium, it's always fun to come out here.
Yeah, and I think, those Saturday games this time of year, it's better to play at 11:30, because like if it rains Friday night and then Saturday morning, then the sun comes out. We think the heat index is something tonight. It'll be about 168 at about the time of kickoff. And as the day goes on, it'll get hotter and hotter and hotter.
Well, thanks for that. That's really, really nice.
But our team's wearing white jerseys, I promise you that.
You betcha. Chris Jackson will kick it away again. And Ray Boudreau, I believe, is the deep man for Tulane. Here is the U.S. Agency's scoring drive. 17 plays on that one. That one took a long time. 80 yards, and they used 6 minutes and 43 seconds on the clock. 4-yard pass from Doucette, to Doucette from Russell. Russell is 13 of 20, 147 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jackson's kick 2 yards deep in the end zone. And he's going to run it back out of this is Boudreau, who has run the ball hard tonight, but he only gets back up to about the 17-yard line.
Pushing and shoving. Somebody is going to get a flag. Dadgummit. Daniel Francis is going to have a flag.
Well,
at the end of the play, Daniel Francis was trying to break up a fight. However, it was not his business. The officials had it under control. Francis stepped in, pushed the Tulane defender off, and that's all the officials saw.
Yep. So, tempers are flaring here, and there's really no need for it. It's an LSU blowout. It's 28-0 with 4:17 left to play. And don't need to be doing that.
Well, I have no doubt Tulane is taking some cheap shots.
Well, they might be. That's what I'm saying. There's no need to be doing that.
This is not the first time that's happened. This is a tradition with some teams, and it happens to be one of the teams that has it as part of its tradition. Been that way a long time.
First down at the 32-yard line. Receivers on both sides, split back formation. Ricard. Boudreau is handed the football, and I believe it's Boudreau, and down he goes. And a big pile of people. I'm not sure he got back to the line of scrimmage. Actually, that was not Boudreaux. That was Forte, number 25, who was in there. Boudreaux and Forte have been rotating in and out tonight. That was Forte on the carry, and he did just barely get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, nice job by Marlon Favorite right in the middle there. He both tackled his blocker and then tackled the ball carrier, Forte.
Shotgun formation, 4-receiver pattern with 3:30 to play in the first half and the clock running, 28-0 LSU. Ricard waiting for the football. And he hands the ball on a delay handoff to Forte, and he goes nowhere. He loses yards. Just as he is handed the football, he's wrapped up by Derry Beckwith. And Favorite. Forte was handed the ball, and immediately it was pounced upon by Favorite, who got there first, and then a whole bunch of other people got there. And so it is third down and about 13 at the 29-yard line of Tulane. 28-0, LSU leads the Green Wave. Scored 14 points in each quarter. 4-receiver pattern for the Greenies. Shotgun formation. Forte is back there. There's the snap. Ricard drops the throw, being pressured. He does throw, and it is caught on a fingertip catch at his ankles for a first down up around the 42-yard line. That was terrific. Jeremy Williams, number 20, made a very nice catch.
He was in the slot on the left side, went down and just kind of bent into the inside. Ricard was hit right as he got rid of the football. The pass was not particularly well thrown, and because it was not, it got completed because it was thrown short. LSU had the pass defended, actually, and Williams had to reach back and pluck it off the grass top just before it hit. It's a Tulane first down, though, at their 43-yard line.
2 receivers right. Lone running back is Forte. And Tulane will call a timeout. Ricard went down under center, and Tulane takes its third and final timeout. That's why the ball game seems to be dragging along. We've had a lot of timeouts tonight, a lot of passes thrown, and that sort of thing. So timeout of the ball game with 2:09 to go in the half, and LSU leading 28-0. Tulane will, it'll be a landmark game for them next week. Doug, they'll be playing at home for the first time in 15 or 16 straight games. Be back in the Superdome, and that's terrific. And very honestly, I can't wait to see the Superdome on Monday night when the Saints and the Falcons play on national television. They've done a terrific job in putting that place back together, and so good for them. And that can be a showcase for the whole state of Louisiana on Monday night.
It could, and actually I hope it serves that purpose. I hope that it raises the standard of excellence as people decide what to do with that area, Jim. Yeah. And it's, I think it's an indication. There's some criticism for the amount of money that was being spent on that rather than other things, but it appears to have been done well, and it certainly is a visible show of creating something that had been virtually destroyed.
Tulane will play SMU there next week. 2 receivers, right and 1 left. Lone running back is Forte. Ricard will go under center with 2:09 left to play in the first half. And he hands the ball away to Forte, and boy, he is stood up and wrapped up and thrown down by Charles Alexander for a loss on the play. Go Tigers, go forward. Louisiana Economic Development is moving our state forward with business-friendly incentives and support programs for aggressive companies throughout Louisiana. To learn more, visit louisianaforward.com/roll today. And show your Tiger spirit every time you get a call with a Louisiana State Fight Song ringback tone. We'll tell you more about that in a second. Here's Ricard. A flag goes down. Ricard will throw it way downfield and way over the head of anybody. It was in the direction of number 81, Preston Brown, but a flag is thrown back around the 35-yard line, and I don't know if it was thrown before the play started or not, but it was thrown in the Tulane backfield. That's you have to listen very carefully because we cannot hear the official up here in the booth. Holding against Tulane. And then interference. Looked to me like he signaled
or illegal
2
shift
penalties.
maybe.
Holding. Yeah. It's declined. So they took the second penalty. There was 2. They took the second one, which was holding. We said with the Louisiana State fight song ringback tone, you can treat callers to the LSU fight song. While they wait for you to pick up, simply send a text to 728 and put 107 as the message, only from Verizon Wireless, the official wireless provider of the LSU Tigers. So a 10-yard penalty with a minute 35 to play in the half makes it 2nd down and 20 for Tulane. Shotgun formation, 4-receiver pattern, 2 on each side. Ricard wants to throw, hands it off on a delay handoff to Boudreaux, and he again does a nice job as he got all the penalty yards back and more up to around the 45-yard line. What? Timeout on the field. LSU must have called a timeout, and they did. It'll be 3rd down and 9, and LSU stops the clock with 1:26 to go as Chevis Jackson and Ricky Jean-Francois made the stop. Walk-Ons, having become a Tiger tradition in just 3 years, wants to extend its thanks to the Baton Rouge and LSU community for their support. So if you're in the area or just hungry for some walk-ons, tell them that the voice of the Tigers sent you. And we'll see you over there Wednesday night for the Les Miles show. LSU will play Mississippi State, as we said, next Saturday at 11:30 kickoff, and Tulane will play SMU. They'll play. That's the first of 2 straight in the Superdome. They've got SMU and then Rice consecutive in 2 weeks from today. LSU will be on the road down in Gainesville to play the Florida Gators, who we were told earlier had their hands full with Kentucky tonight. 12-7, Florida leading the Wildcats at halftime. So 3rd down and 8. LSU has 1 timeout left. Tulane doesn't have any. 1:26 to play in a very long first half. 3 receivers left and 1 right. Shotgun formation. Forte is back there with Ricard. There's the snap. Ricard has time to throw. He is hit just as he throws a loose ball. It is picked up. And then I don't know if they'll rule that an interception or fumble. If it was a fumble, it was recovered by Tulane.
Ricard
is down. That was Tyson Jackson who got back there and hit him and may have knocked it away. And I think LSU has called a timeout, but they may not have had to because Ricard is down. As just as he cocked it to throw it, he was hit from the far side and hit very, very hard by Tyson Jackson. But they ruled that a fumble and a recovery by Tulane. They're putting the ball down at the 49-yard line.
And he was hit. It's one of those, I guess you could have called it either way if you thought his arm had started forward, but he got hit right as he started to cock and looked like he was holding his neck just now. I don't know if he got hit up underneath the chin. I don't know if he got his neck twisted or exactly what, but certainly hate to see that. But it was inevitable. Yeah. As much as they rely on him, he is their offense. He's got to be the part of it. And it was a given that he was going to be mighty sore tomorrow because he was going to get hit an awful lot tonight. Hope he's okay. He's sitting up now. He's located about the 40-yard line, but the Tulane trainers obviously concerned about him because he is the person that makes their team go when they go. And they haven't gone very much tonight, but they've moved the ball on a couple of possessions. And he's a very capable young man. Someone who has a future in the pros, Jim, if he works at it and gets with the right team. He's got a good enough arm. He's got very good size, and he's a very good athlete. Just kind of got beat by the numbers game here at LSU. He came here hoping to play quarterback and didn't have a chance. I think there were other positions maybe that he could have played, but he wanted to be a quarterback and ended up transferring to Tulane and has been quite a star there the last 3 years. He
got up and walked off the field under his own steam. He's kind of moving his right shoulder and elbow, arm around like maybe he got that jarred a little bit. It'll be 4th down and
Scott Elliott, who's probably an unhappy young quarterback since he comes in the game in this situation with 4th and about 4 to go.
And they're going to go for it. LSU doesn't have any timeouts and can't stop the clock, so they're going to go for it on 4th down and 4. Forte is the lone running back, 2 receivers left and 1 right. What did he do? He took
was trying to pull LSU offsides, and it worked.
And they did.
And they snapped the ball when LSU jumped. It was maybe he's the expert on their team at doing that. If he is, he's well designated because he did a good job of it.
Yeah, they did exactly what they wanted to do. They didn't want LSU to get the ball back with 1:16, although I don't know that the Tigers would have done anything fancy to try to score a touchdown. But if, in fact, they pulled LSU offsides, then they're going to keep I think, yeah, at 4th and 4, if the scoreboard is right, that would give them a first down.
And let's see if that's what the call is.
All right, I'm sorry for the dead air there, but we're trying to figure out what the official. Well, they've been talking a lot tonight. They've had to explain so many things that have happened out there, but that's what it was. It's offsides LSU. They put a second back on the clock, and here's the quarterback throwing incomplete down around the 43-yard line. That, of course, is Scott Elliott, as we said, and was incomplete, batted away by LSU's Jesse Daniels.
And LSU's exhausted their timeouts. Tulane has exhausted theirs. And so it's going to take something other than a timeout to stop that clock, like an incomplete pass. That'll do it every time.
Yeah, the pass is intended for Jeremy Williams, and it's 2nd down and 10 at the LSU 46-yard line. 1:09 to play. 28-0 LSU. 4-receiver pattern. Elliott is the quarterback out of the shotgun. Waiting on the snap, and there it is. Play action fake. He is being chased in the pocket. Throws. It is complete, and then hit on a driving tackle by LaRon Landry as number 81, Preston Brown, at about the LSU 43-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 6. Tulane will set up in the shotgun. 5-receiver pattern. 3 on the right. And here is a pass on the far side that is caught. That's going to be a first down.
Wide open. LSU missed their coverage.
All the way down to the 27-yard line. And 30 pass was complete to Dunn. And Tulane is scrambling to try to get on the board. With backup quarterback Elliott. 3 receivers left and 1 right out of the shotgun. And there's the pass, and it is in, and it should have been caught in and out of the hands of Forte coming out of the backfield at the 25-yard line. That stops the clock with 33 seconds to play in the first half. 28-0 LSU.
Now, where have we seen something like this? At the end of a half, the ball located right about this part in the field, a team trying desperately to score a touchdown.
Many times.
Let's see.
On many games,
let's see what you're
trying to go back to the next week again.
Let's see what various rule interpretations are going to play into the final calls here in the first half.
5-receiver pattern, 3 left and 2 right. Out of the shotgun, here's Elliott. Back to throw, has time, does throw, and this one is incomplete. Should have been caught at the 17-yard line of LSU. It looked like it was right into the hands of a diving number 33 who was out there for Tulane, and that would be Curtis McGurley. Curtis McGrinity.
Jim Elliott threw it exactly where you want to throw it. I mean, it's about as perfect a pass as you can throw. Scott Elliott, a 6'1", 214-pound sophomore from Bay City, Texas, has come in under tough circumstances to take the place of Lester Ricard and has thrown the ball well and led his team well.
3rd down and 10, shotgun formation, 4-receiver pattern. Tigers are rushing. And he throws it way down the field and way over the head of the intended receiver down around the 10-yard line. That was 81. That's Preston Brown, and that didn't use much time either. It's still 24 seconds left to play, and this first half, it just doesn't seem like it will ever end. They're going to go for 3 points and try to do away with the LSU shutout right here. This is... all right, number 47. This is Russ Thevenot. He is 0 for 2 on the year. This one is blocked at the line of scrimmage and will roll down and is down at the LSU 14-yard line with 13 seconds left to play. Let's see if we can find out who got their hands on it. We'll watch the replay and see. Might have been Marlon Favorite.
Well, Thevenot is having a rough time.
Yeah, he was 0 for 2. Now he's 0 for 3.
His season, he was a highly recruited, excellent high school place kicker, soccer player from St. Louis Catholic of Lake Charles. seems to have lost his confidence. He missed a couple of extra points last week, missed 2 field goals, and rough start.
Yep, not going to have another play as the teams are headed to the locker room as the first half comes to an end with LSU leading 28-0. Let's go to Jordan.
Very much, Jeff. Effective first half. What are your thoughts about now in the second half?
Well, we got a crisp game. We have to continue to play the way we've been playing, play hard. Let's make sure it's secure victory here.
And the point in time when you start to maybe get some substitutions in. You played a lot of people the first half. I'm sure that's the goal in the second half as well.
Well, we're probably going to take it with the first unit and then substitute pretty aggressively.
Okay, Coach.
See how it goes.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. That's Les Miles. He says we'll see how it goes, but expect some new quarterbacks in a hurry. 28-zip the score at the half, gentlemen.
All right, thank you very much, Jordy. The Tigers lead it. It is homecoming. We'll here in the stadium, we'll have our homecoming show, and back in the studio, we'll have the Kevin Ford Show when our halftime begins right after this on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
When we got married, suddenly we had 2 of everything. 2 dinette sets, 2 dogs.
2 car insurance companies. This is a true story about true savings from State Farm.
We had to get rid of a few things.
What's my chair?
He had State Farm.
And she had the gecko.
His agent helped us compare.
There was no comparison.
This time, one of his things stayed.
Find a State Farm agent today in the Real Yellow Pages from Bell South or visit statefarm.com.
Like a good neighbor,
State Farm is there.
Savings based on home and automobile discount.
And while there's a short break in the action, let's talk schedule. Next week, we're at home taking on 1,300 pounds of sod.
That's a load.
Yeah, then the following Saturday, we're away camping with the kids.
Should be a real marshmallow burner there.
Uh-huh. And a week later, the in-laws are coming to town.
Hey, always entertaining. Just going to have to let them know they're in our house.
Absolutely.
The 2007 Sport Track. With an available V8, its largest cargo bed ever, and refined, quieter interior, it's perfect for your tough schedule. See it at your local Southern Quality Ford dealer.
I'm Kevin Ford in the LeBarish Hotel and Casino Studio Control Room. It's halftime over in Tiger Stadium. This is the Regions Bank halftime show, and at the half, LSU leading Tulane right now by the score of 28-0. The LSU Tigers remind you that a winner always uses a designated driver or volunteers to be one. Be a good sport and keep our roads safe. Always put safe driving at the top of your lineup. A message from the LSU Sports Radio Network and Mockler Beverage Budweiser. LSU Fighting Tiger Football is brought to you in part by the Louisiana Lottery, a proud sponsor of LSU Athletics. And get somewhere and grab life by the horns. Dodge. It's now time to take a look at the scoreboard, brought to you by our friends at Cox Sports Television, the home athletics. Number 1, Ohio State beat number 24, Penn State, 28-6, the final. Number 2, Auburn rolls over Buffalo, 38-7. At halftime, number 3, Southern Cal leads Arizona by the score of 3-0. Number 4, West Virginia beat East Carolina, 27-10. Just getting underway in the third quarter. Number 5, Florida leads Kentucky by the score of 12-7. Number 6, Michigan beat Wisconsin 27-13. It was number 7, Texas beating Iowa State 37-14. Number 8, Louisville wins on the road at Kansas State 24-6. Number 9, Georgia escapes Athens with a 1-point win over Colorado, 14-13 Dogs. Number 11, Virginia Tech beats Cincinnati 29-13. In the second quarter, Michigan State leads number 12, Notre Dame 24-14. Number 14, Iowa beat Illinois 24-7. Number 15, Tennessee beats Marshall 33-7. In the fourth quarter, number 17, Oklahoma spanking Middle Tennessee 59-0. Number 18, Florida State embarrasses Rice 55-7. Number 19, Clemson rolls over North Carolina 52-7. In the second, number 20, Boston College leads NC State 9-3. Number 21, Cal beat number 22, Arizona State 49-21. In the fourth quarter, number 23, Nebraska leads Troy 49-0. In the second, number 25, Boise State leads Hawaii 24-14. SEC in 2 overtimes, Arkansas beats Alabama 24-23 in Fayetteville. In the third, Wake Forest leading Ole Miss 10-3. Also in the third, Vandy leading Tennessee State 10-3. In the fourth quarter, South Carolina blowing out Florida Atlantic 42-6. And in the fourth quarter, UAB leads Mississippi State 7-3. Be glad you're not at that game. State games, ULL beat North Carolina A&T 48-7. In the fourth, Texas Tech all over Southeastern 62-0. In the first, Louisiana Tech and Texas A&M are scoreless. Toledo leads McNeese State in the fourth quarter 27-7. South Dakota State beat Nicholls State 24-17. In the fourth quarter, North Carolina Central leads Southern 27-13. Other games today, Maryland beat Florida International 14-10. Washington State over Stanford 36-10. Air Force beat Wyoming 31-24. It was Purdue over Minnesota 27-21. And UConn beat Indiana by the score of 14-7. Our score at halftime, LSU 28 and Tulane 0. This look at the scoreboard has been brought to you by Cox Sports Television, the home of LSU athletics. Tiger fans, did you know that a recent survey shows 9 out of 10 tailgaters prefer the safety and convenience of affordable propane gas for their tailgating parties? But propane's not just for parties. To find out more, visit www.louisianapropane.com. 28-0 is our score. This is the Regions Bank Halftime Show. We'll be back with more after these messages on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Bowl games following a college football season have been a tradition since 1902. This season, there will be 32 postseason bowl games showcasing the nation's most talented student athletes. This unique postseason experience has provided a lifetime of memories for generations of college football fans. Bowl games have established a remarkable heritage of not only supporting higher education, but also giving back to their local communities. Be a part of the college football experience by attending a bowl game this year. LSU offensive lineman Rudy Niswanger and Alabama linebacker D'Amico Ryans were named 2 of 8 Division 1A National Scholar Athletes by the National Football Foundation in 2005. Niswanger also won the National Football Association's Dratty Award, an honor also known as the Academic Heisman. The SEC has had multiple recipients of this honor each of the last 4 years, giving the conference 10 honorees during that span. The Southeastern Conference, equipping tomorrow's leaders today.
Your connection to LSU sporting events is the Tiger Ticket Office, located in the main lobby of the Athletic Administration Building. Advanced ticket sales to all events are available from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, on both a season and single game basis. For complete seating and price information, call the LSU Ticket Office at 225-578-2184 or toll free 1-800-960-8587 and see the Tigers in action whenever you can.
On game days, LSU coaches communicate by way of wireless technology. Did you know that LSU students have access to wireless technology every day? In fact, Intel named LSU among the most unwired campuses in the country. Findings were based on the number of areas on campus with wireless access to the internet, as well as the student-to-computer ratio and the percentage of campus covered by wireless technology. LSU has a great game plan, on and off the field.
And welcome back to the Regions Bank Halftime Show. I'm Kevin Ford in the LeBarish Hotel and Casino Studio Control Room. LSU is leading Tulane at the half by the score of 28-0. Go everywhere, do everything in a Jeep Grand Cherokee, Liberty, and Jeep Wrangler. And tonight's game sponsor is Cox Communications, your friend in the digital age. It's now time to take a look at the first half highlights brought to you by Olshan Foundation Repair. Tulane got the ball first as LSU won the toss and deferred. They go 3 and out and punt. The Tigers take over 1st and 10 at their 34-yard line. They drive down the field and strike first.
Harrison and several others in on the stop for Tulane. Now trip receivers to the right, lone receiver to the near side. Vincent the lone running back. Russell under center. Short drop to throw. Does throw across the way. Completes the screen. This is Doucette, and he is...
It's a touchdown. He was in there.
He was in there for 12 yards. The PAT by Colt David is good. 9:28 left in the first. 7-zip LSU. 10-play, 66-yard drive that took 4:08 off the clock. The Greenies get it back. They're forced to punt. A bad snap, but their punter does a good job of getting it off. But then LSU's got great field position. 1st and 10 at the Tulane 39-yard line. And 3 plays later, LSU gets touchdown number 2.
Handoff again and the end around again. This time it is Doucette. 15-10. 5. Touchdown.
Doucette runs at 19 yards. The PAT by David is good, and with 6:20 remaining in the first quarter, 14-zip LSU. That a 3-play, 39-yard drive that took 1:08 off of the clock. We move to early in the second quarter, and in fact, on the second play of the second quarter, The Tigers get touchdown number 3.
15 yards on the play. Doucette's the lone flanker on the near side. That's to the right out of the I formation. The toss to Scott, and he's trying up the middle, and he's into the end zone for the score. He just ran by would-be tacklers.
That was an 8-yard run. The PAT by Colt David was good, and with 14:32 left in the first half, 21-zip LSU. That a 3-play, 34-yard drive that took all of 37 seconds. The Tigers get it back again. They convert on a 4th and 7 at the Tulane 35-yard line. Then a few plays later, they have a fumble that was reviewed. LSU gets it back, but the Tigers are then whistled for a personal foul, so they have it goal to go at the 15-yard line, but that didn't stop the Tigers as they score touchdown number 4.
Russell has to throw quickly. It's caught. Touchdown. Doucette with his 3rd touchdown of the night.
That was on a 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. The PAT by Colt David was good. 4:25 left in the half, 28-zip LSU. A 17-play, 80-yard drive that took 6:43 off of the clock. The Green Wave got it back. They drove to the LSU 25-yard line, attempted a field goal. It was blocked, and the score at halftime is 28-0. Our highlights have been brought to you by Olshan Foundation Repair. Hey, come by Walk-Ons to try our menu filled with variety, from burgers, soups, salads, and Cajun dishes to our nearly famous desserts. 28-0. LSU in control of this one at halftime. It's homecoming 2006, and the Regions Bank halftime show will continue after these messages on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
LSU athletic programs pump over $80 million in business sales into the economy annually, and that's just athletics. Did you know the flagship university contributes over $1.5 billion of economic activity to Louisiana every year? LSU equals jobs, technology, research, business, the arts, and education. LSU is critical to the Louisiana economy and our quality of life. LSU has a great game plan on and off the field. The LSU Tigers are considered one of the fastest and smartest teams in the country. But did you know that LSU has one of the fastest and smartest supercomputers in the world? With a new upgrade by Intel, the supercomputer now clocks in at approximately 4 teraflops. That's 4 trillion floating point operations per second. This places Super Mike among the fastest supercomputers in the world. LSU has a great game plan on and off the field. LSU has won more than 40 national sports championships and more than 100 Southeastern Conference titles, making it one of the hottest athletic scenes in the nation. But there's more to LSU than athletics. Did you know that Newsweek ranked LSU one of the nation's 12 hottest campuses, noting its diversity? LSU has students from all 50 states and over 100 countries. LSU has a great game plan on and off the field. LSU is known for its athletic prowess, with top-rated athletes in almost every venue. But did you know that LSU is also renowned for its award-winning faculty? Many are the top experts in their fields. LSU's plan to gain greater national academic prominence calls for more top professors by the year 2010, making LSU more competitive nationally and internationally. LSU has a great game plan on and off the field.
And we are back on the Regions Bank halftime show. LSU leading Tulane by the score of 28-0 at halftime. Now let's go back over to Tiger Stadium with Doug Morrow. Doug?
Thank you very much, Kevin Ford. LSU leading Tulane 28-0 at halftime, and it's not unexpected. It turned out to be towards the end of the first half. I think that it kind of slowed down. It was not particularly exciting near the end of the first half. It went very slowly, but LSU dominating Tulane. Tulane fighting hard. Just doesn't have the horses to compete on this level quite yet. But we got 30 minutes to go, and the second half will be interesting. Meanwhile, I have an opportunity to visit with Rod Michler, the Vice President of Cox Sports Television. And those of you who watch LSU on television undoubtedly are watching a production of Cox Sports Television, right, Rod?
Exactly.
Why don't you tell the folks, a 5-year extension has just been signed. Tell us about that and how long you have been in it and how you happen to get in it.
Great, sure will, Doug. Good to see you tonight. We're happy to be here again. We're really excited this past year. We've been able to announce a new 5-year extension with Cox Sports Television and LSU. It's just been a great partnership between the Tigers and our channel since we launched way back in, hard to believe, back in 2002. But the Tiger fans that are watching on Cox Sports Television will see actually more events now. We're going to be doing over 50, which we continue to hear a lot of good things about how people are enjoying not only our football replays, but basketball, baseball, a lot of the women's sports, and the Olympic sports. So it's been a great partnership. We're really excited that we've been able to announce a new 5-year extension, and we're looking forward to being the home of the Tigers for many, many more years to come.
Well, I would imagine that particularly with the football replays, the replays are going to be expanded a little bit, I understand. Is that right?
They are, Doug. Since we launched the channel, we actually have had the replays on Sunday afternoon at 5 o'clock. We thought that this year there'd be a great opportunity to take the Tigers on those Sunday replays to prime time. So now we have Sunday Tiger Encores at 7 o'clock, and that actually leads into a brand new Saints postgame show that we have, a live postgame show called Saints Tonight. So we're pretty excited about our Sunday schedule that includes the LSU replays. Lynn Rollins, Greg Bowser do a great job, and those are at 7 now on Sundays, and we'll re-air that same game back on Wednesday nights at 7. So we're hearing some good things. I think the LSU fans are enjoying watching the encores, and those Sunday night prime times seem to be going over pretty well.
Well, I would imagine that the replay of the LSU-Auburn game, particularly about the last 2 minutes of the game, has been one of the hottest tickets in town. We've probably gotten a lot of requests from you, huh?
Doug, a lot of folks are requesting camera angles from that defensive backside over there. We haven't been able to come up with that. But, yes, we certainly have had a good response, people wanting to see that Auburn game, especially that second half, a few more times.
Well, maybe you ought to gratuitously send some to the Southeastern Conference office, because I don't think they saw the good ones.
I think you're right.
But I tell you, it's really been a great addition to the LSU, to the history of LSU sports, because really, you, in addition to everything else, to entertaining fans, you memorialize things much, much better than – I mean, back in our days, we didn't even have color film when I played. Didn't even have film, probably.
Doug, the ability with television now and video on demand and just a lot of different ways to get video out to fans is just amazing. And probably before too much longer, you'll have these LSU replays on your wireless telephone. So that'll be another exciting opportunity.
Well, Rod Michler, thanks so much for spending time with us and bringing us up to date on the relationship. Happy that it's been extended 5 years, and look forward to seeing a whole bunch more of you.
Thank you, Doug.
Okay. Rod Michler, Vice President of Fox Sports Television, and I will have more of the second half of tonight's game and statistics from the first half after we take this break on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
And while there's a short break in the action, let's talk schedule. Next week, we're at home taking on 1,300 pounds of sod.
That's a load.
Yeah, then the following Saturday, we're away camping with the kids.
Should be a real marshmallow burner there.
Uh-huh. And a week later, the in-laws are coming to town.
Hey, always entertaining. Just going to have to let them know they're in our house.
Absolutely.
The 2007 Sport Track. With an available V8, its largest cargo bed ever, and refined, quieter interior, it's perfect for your tough schedule. See it at your local Southern Quality Ford dealer.
Hi, this is Mike Belfour with Belfour Building Construction from Eunice, Louisiana. I've been building propane-owned homes for more than 30 years. Propane houses are safe and offer incredible savings for homeowners across the state in heating, cooking, hot water heaters, and more. Take it from me, Mike Belfour. Propane is an exceptional energy, and propane homes are an exceptional value. For more information, call your local propane dealer or visit www.louisianapropane.com.
Welcome to the World Poker Tour. We have a great lineup tonight, ready to play a new lottery game, $100,000 Hold'em Poker.
Well, it's all on Earl Thomas.
He's got it! $100,000 Hold'em Poker. Here's Lisa with more chances to win.
Enter our 4 second chance drawings to win World Poker Tour merchandise and the ultimate poker experience. The chance to compete with poker professionals.
Visit your lottery retailer for more details.
You must be at least 21 to purchase.
When you think about it, bank locations are a lot like touchdowns. You can never get enough of them. And the more you have, the more you get the urge to celebrate in a highly personal way. But let's not go there. So the next time you do business at any of Regions Bank's 1,400 branches or 1,600 ATM locations, don't be ashamed if you break into that victory dance. Regions Bank, official bank of the SEC, and proud sponsor of the LSU Sports Radio Network. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Doug Morrow along with Jim Hawthorne and Jordy Hultberg. About a minute and a half from the kick of the second half. LSU will be receiving the kick here to start the second half. They began the first half the way that you would want to. They took it away from Tulane and scored, and they scored, and they scored, and they scored. Whenever they got the ball, they scored. They did what was necessary. Not flashy, not exciting, but a lot of passing early in the game. It's given LSU the opportunity to run. Statistically, the Tigers with 15 first downs. Tulane had 8, though, and they had a couple of decent drives. And towards the end of the first half, had some possessions where they picked up yards. Tulane had 42 yards rushing on 15 carries. LSU 17 for 114 yards. 146 yards passing for LSU, 63 for Tulane. The Tigers 13 of 19 in the passing game, 8 of 21 for the Green Wave. Combination quarterbacks now. They had Lester Ricard 6 of 15, and then Scott Elliott came in. He was 2 of 6. Ricard was injured. We don't know if we'll see him again. Total offense, LSU had 260 yards and Tulane 105. Tulane punted 5 times for a 35.2 average. LSU won for a 48 yards. LSU possessed the ball almost 14 minutes, just a little bit less. Tulane 16:09. Third down conversions, LSU 4 of 6, Tulane 4 of 11. So it's been completely dominated by the LSU Tigers. Jamarcus Russell most of the time was very sharp. He got a little loose with some passes after he had a lot of early success. Dwayne Bowe with 5 receptions, 49 yards. Buster Davis 3 for 46. Early Doucette 3 for 24. And Doucette has taken the ball in the end zone several times. Charles Scott 1 for 16. So it's been a great first half, and here to give you all the play-by-play of the second half, Jim Hawthorne.
Thank you very much, Doug. LSU will receive. The kick is down, taken by Doucette at the 5. He's back to the 10, to the 15, tripped up at the 20, fights ahead to the 25, and a flag is thrown about 14 yards downfield, and it hit the ground around the 30-yard line. So nice return by Doucette up to the 27, but one of the officials got exceptionally excited and threw a flag about 20 yards.
During the return,
and they're going to call a hold against LSU.
First down.
And it'll be called on Jacob Cotrera. And that will cost LSU. It'll back them up considerably from where they would have started at the 27. And they'll go all the way back down to the 17. And we'll start there first and 10. Let's go down to Jordy quickly for the update.
Well, anything but exceptionally exciting in the halftime report because Les Miles said, let's take care of business, protect the football, no more of these silly penalties, which they just got there. And we'll see how long Jamarcus Russell stays in the game and how soon Matt Flynn gets in it.
All right, he's in there right now. Receivers on both sides. I formation. He drops back to throw and does. It's caught by Buster Davis, and he's down at the 25-yard line, a yard short of a first down, and it'll bring up second down and 1 from that point. Tiger fans, it's time for the Verizon Wireless Text to Win promotion. To enter in for your chance to win a prize from Verizon Wireless, text the word LSU from your Verizon Wireless mobile phone to the number 99464. And here is this evening's question. In what year did LSU's first homecoming take place? I'll give you 4 possible answers. Well, there goes another flag. LSU's not off to a real good start here in the second half. That is another LSU penalty.
False start. Left guard on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Well, that would probably be Will Arnold, I think. So now it's going to be second down and 6. All right, here are your choices. What year did LSU's first homecoming take place? A, 1922, B, 1931, C, 1901, D, 1927. We'll provide the answer in the fourth quarter, so stay tuned. All right. Second down and 7. I formation, 2 receivers left. Russell under center. We're just underway in the second half. 28-0 LSU. Here's a handoff to Scott, and he's going to be thrown for a loss back to the 15. So it'll bring up third down now and 11. That was a really fine defensive play by Tulane's number 56, Avery Williams. And, boy, he hit Charles Scott the instant he was handed the football. They will actually put it at the 16. So now LSU, which had a second down and 1, is now back to third down and 10. First offensive series of the second half. Shotgun formation, 4-receiver pattern. And Russell walks up and may have changed the play. Now sets up. There's the snap. Here comes the Tulane rush, and Russell's in big trouble, and he's going to go down all the way back at the 2-yard line. And boy, has LSU started off sluggish here in the second half. I mean, it doesn't even look like the same team that was out there in the first half. And the Tigers will have to punt it. That's the first time they got to Russell, and they didn't even slow the Tulane rush down that time.
And Russell had no hopes of escaping. He tried to get out to the right side. Tulane had too many people coming at him and too many fast guys. Not a good way for LSU to start. The ball all the way back to the 4-yard line. That's going to make it 4th and, what does that make, 22?
4th and a whole bunch. They got to get up to the 27-yard line, but they're not. That's not the concern. The concern is, can Russell kick it out of there? Or that is Jackson kick it out of there, and boy, the coaches, assistant coaches booth next to us is an unhappy place right now. There's a snap, and Jackson hits a great line drive punt that is taken back at the 38. Back to the 35, and he threw a shoe, but he's still going down the far sidelines and is still going and finally stumbles out of bounds. That is a terrific return. He left his shoe back around the 37-yard line, but he returned that all the way back down to the LSU 31-yard line. So Tulane and LSU both look like different teams to start the second half. 57-yard punt. But Tulane, with a terrific return, has it all the way down to the LSU 31-yard line. That was Fred Smith on the return, a 30-yard return. Well, let's see if the Tiger defensive team is ready to play football in the second half. Tulane should be and probably are a little fired up about what has happened here to start the second half of play. And here is a handoff, and it is Boudreaux, I believe, or let's see, might have been Forte. Let's see which one of them was in there. It was Forte. And he goes straight ahead for about 2 yards. And Scott Elliott is back in at quarterback for the Green Wave. And they're going without a huddle. LSU's defense had better hurry up. Tulane is in a 2-minute offense. 3 receivers left and 1 right, lone running back. Elliott waiting for the snap. He's got it. Wants to throw, has plenty of time, does throw, and it's caught. And, he couldn't hang on. He had it in his hands, and Zenon hit him and knocked it away. That was DeMarcus Davis who had it down around the 15-yard line, and that would have been plenty for a first down, but Zenon knocked it loose.
Well, Davis ran a square-in pattern. He lined up on the right side, went down, squared it back to the middle. The pass was thrown by Elliott high. Davis went up in the air, got it in his hands, came down. Apparently when he got hit by Zenon, the ball came loose and then rolled away from him when he hit the ground. So an incomplete pass, 3rd and about 7.
3 receivers left and 2 to the right. Shotgun formation. There's the snap. And there's the pass. It is in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, number 81, Brown, down around the 25-yard line. And Tulane is looking at 4th down now. We're just underway in the second half. LSU took the opening kickoff and looked very, very sluggish. Lost yards, was penalized twice and had to punt it away. Now 4th down and 8. Tulane will go for it at the LSU 29-yard line. 3 receivers left, 2 right. Elliott is back in the shotgun by himself. Here comes the Tiger rush. He throws it towards the end zone, and that has no chance of being caught by anybody. Goes out of the back of the end zone, and LSU will take over at their 29-yard line.
That was a strange pass to throw on 4th and 7. They had really no hope. As we wait for LSU to come out, let's take 10 seconds for station identification.
We'll do that here in just a second, but right now there's time out of the ball game with 11:11 to play. In the third, it's LSU 28, Tulane nothing on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Football fans love to see the LSU Tigers hit the field like a hurricane. Did you know that the LSU Hurricane Center has the largest collection of hurricane researchers in the world? Research expertise includes remote sensing of storms, hurricane climatology, wind and flood effects on the coastal environment, and access to services for disaster victims. Learn more about the LSU Hurricane Center at hurricane.lsu.edu. LSU has a great game plan on and off the field. The LSU Tigers have reached the championship level by recruiting the best. But did you know that LSU also recruits the best students? LSU has increased academic standards 5 times in recent years, and each time enrollment has increased. LSU is proud to have produced 14 Rhodes Scholars, 14 Goldwater Scholars, 4 Marshall Scholars, and now its first Truman Scholar. LSU has a great game plan on and off the field.
see. We'll get a station ID here in just a second. We do not want to miss this play. 1st and 10 LSU at their 29-yard line. And the Tigers will try to get the offense going. They went 3 and out and punted the first time they had it. Then Tulane went for it on 4th down and threw an incomplete pass out of the back of the end zone. Marcus Russell is back in at quarterback, and Charles Scott is the lone running back as the Tigers will line up with 2 receivers right and 1 left. And this is an extended timeout. 28-0 LSU, and many of the folks have headed out. There's not as many here to start the second half as we had to start the ball game. All right, Scott will go under center, or Russell will go under center. Scott is the lone running back. And the handoff is to Scott, and he plows ahead and pulls people with him for about 4 yards. And boy, he had good thrust that time as he ran right straight into a Tulane would-be tackler who ended up being the tackler, and that's James Dillard, the weak side linebacker. And he just pushed him back for a gain of about 5 yards.
Scott just kept his legs driving, and Pete Dykowski got behind him and pushed the whole stack along. So they actually turned about a 1-yard gain into a 5-yard gain with extra effort.
2nd and 5, receivers on both sides, I formation. Russell under center. Short drop to throw. Fires it complete. First down, Buster Davis, and he's off to the races. Gets 1 block and then is knocked down at the Tulane 46-yard line. Very nicely done. And the Tigers with a big strike there, and it'll be first down at the Tulane 46-yard line. Foreman finally made the catch. That was 20 yards on the play.
Tulane's defenders playing on the outside on that play, and so when they line up on the outside trying to take the out pattern away, LSU's just running the hitch. That's all Davis did, made the reception into Tulane territory.
David Kirksey also in on the stop, and here is Russell. He throws over complete to Davis. He jukes the first would-be tackler, tries to come to the outside, butts heads with another, and goes down at the 35 for a first down. Now, the Tigers have done that on several occasions tonight. They throw the ball to the outside and try to get the LSU receivers one-on-one with the defenders, and it's been successful on several occasions. Gooseby, the strong safety, and Dillard were both in on the stop.
Well, this is where LSU has the most skilled players. That is at the wide receiver spot. They run about 6 deep who can play with anybody, and Jamarcus Russell on the other end of it can get it to him.
1st and 10 LSU, just behind the Tulane 35. Short drop by Russell over to Doucette, who's got a man one-on-one, and he jukes him, jukes another, and gets inside the 25 down to the 23. And the LSU wide receivers are just kind of making a monkey out of the Tulane defenders out there and leaving them standing. That's an outstanding job.
Yeah, Doucette coming limping off a little bit. I don't know if he got his ankle tweaked a little bit, caught up underneath him as he kept running, and I think one of the defenders kind of landed on his ankle as he was making the tackle.
Yeah, it was Foreman that he left in his wake, but he gets the first down to the 24-yard line, and Doucette flanks out to the right. Man in motion, that is Hester. And there's the toss to Scott. Scott is breaking it up the middle and still going. He's hard to bring down, and he's inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal LSU at the Tulane 8-yard line. Charles Scott has been something here tonight, and the Greenies have a man having problems getting up down around the goal line. That's number 37, Josh Mitzel, who is down on his knees. Show your Tiger spirit every time you get a call with the Louisiana State Fight Song ringback tone. You can treat callers to the LSU Fight Song while they wait for you to pick up. Simply send a text to 728 and put 107 as the message, only from Verizon Wireless, the official wireless provider of the LSU Tigers. Well, I think that he just got his bell rung. Actually, that is 97. It looked like 37. It ends up being 97. And that's Julian Shive Sams. And he is walking off under his own steam. It'll be 1st and goal for LSU at the Tulane 8. Hash marks to the far side of the field. Tigers lead 28-0. And threatening to punch it into the south end zone with 9:08 to play in the third quarter. Lone receiver to the right side. I formation. Charles and Hester back there, and it is Charles with the football. Cuts it back up the middle. An easy romp into the end zone, and he has his second touchdown of the night from 8 yards out.
Charles Scott with a pitch around the right side. Was not touched by a soul. He had outstanding lead blocking. They opened an alley up about 7 or 8 yards wide, and he just stepped right into the end zone. Good lead blocking by everybody in front of him. I'm telling you, Tulane defender did not come within 3 or 4 yards of it.
Cole David will try to tack on the 35th point. Matt Flynn will be holding, and I really believe that Matt Flynn will be in there for the next series of downs. The kick by Colt is good, and with 8:54 to play in the third quarter, LSU leads Tulane 35-0 on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Hey, Tiger fans, show your Tiger pride and keep LSU beautiful on game day. Here are 4 easy ways you can help. Mike likes a clean yard, so be sure to use the LSU trash bags and litter cans. Save our oak trees, don't park on the roots. Keep our families safe, leave glass at home. And put your aluminum cans in the LSU recycling bins. LSU is a leader in game day recycling efforts. Let's all work together to keep LSU beautiful. Thanks, Tiger fans.
The Southeastern Conference Education Initiative has impacted more than 2 million elementary and middle school students. Utilizing the SEC mascots, this interactive web-based program teaches math and language, as well as motivates students, improves test scores, and inspires an interest in higher education. Now, in its 5th year, this valuable resource features challenging content enhanced by 3D gameplay graphics. For more information, visit secsports.com or learningthroughsports.com.
Well, the Tigers, of course, scored from the red zone again, which they've done many times tonight by moving forward, like the Louisiana Economic Development. And here is your U.S. Agency scoring drive. U.S. Agency's low-cost auto insurance. 71 yards in 6 plays, and they used 2 minutes and 17 seconds to do it. And I believe that the floodgates will open now, don't you, Doug? And we'll see at least Matt Flynn come in for the next series, and who knows who else. Let's go down to Jordy.
Well, Doug, I think you'll appreciate this being an old field goal kicker back in the day. Chris Jackson, on his right big toe, his kicking foot, had an infected toe. They lanced it last night, has taped it up today, and I asked him upon impact of the ball, like on kickoffs, what does it feel like? He goes, not very good. Hurts him quite significantly, but wants to be in the lineup, wants to play, and as I can recall, many of his kicks have gone into the end zone. So Chris Jackson stepping up.
You recall well, the way he kicks, he doesn't kick it with his toe anyhow. I mean, he uses the side of his foot primarily, doesn't he?
That would hurt. I don't care.
Well, absolutely.
If you use your foot for anything, it'll hurt.
Yeah, and he's fixing to do it again. And that one's going to come up short, way short. Up about the 8-yard line, back to the 10, to the 15, and to the 22-yard line, and that's a pretty good return for Tulane. Bringing it out of there was Boudreaux, I believe, and down to make the stop for LSU was Jacob Cotrera. And so that's where Tulane will start. 1st and 10 at around the 23-yard line. Russell, 17 of 23 tonight, 198 yards, 2 touchdowns. Scott has rushed it 15 times for 101 yards and 2 touchdowns. Scott's got 2, Doucette's got 3, and that's the 5 LSU touchdowns. Forte and Boudreaux are both back there in the I formation. Elliott is the quarterback, and he tosses it out. This is Forte, and he's wrapped up at about the line of scrimmage. Very nice play for LSU's number 90, Ricky Jean-Francois. And a loss in the play of about 2 makes it 2nd down and 12. Tigers' defensive pursuit was terrific that time. 8:06 to play in the third. 35-0 LSU. The Tigers will host Mississippi State. 11:30 kickoff next Saturday morning. Shotgun formation for Tulane. 2 receivers left and 1 right. Boudreaux is the lone running back. There's the snap. Coming to Elliott. Hands the ball away, and very little yardage. Stopped at the line of scrimmage as he tried to cut it up the no gain. That is Boudreaux. Tiger defense slammed the door. And Chase Pittman was the leader, along with Francois again. And it'll be 3rd down and 9. Third down 9 for the Green Wave. LSU digs in with a 4-man front. 2 receivers left and 1 right. Boudreaux back there as Elliott lines up in the shotgun for Tulane. There's the snap. He drops the throw, and he drops the ball. It's loose. Big pile up. I think LSU has it at about the 18-yard line.
Ricky Jean Francois got it.
They knocked it loose from Elliott. It might have been Chase Pittman who knocked it loose. And the Tigers recover and have it 1st and 10 inside the Tulane 20-yard line.
Elliott in the shotgun trying to set up, and from his backside, never saw him coming. Chase Pittman beat the left tackle around the corner. Pittman hit him from behind. The ball popped loose. Ricky Jean Francois saw it on the ground, popped on top of it. LSU 1st down at the 19-yard line of Tulane, and Matt Flynn in the ball game at quarterback.
As we suspected, that's LSU's 2nd fumble recovery this year. Flynn 6 of 8 for 70 yards so far this year. 2 receivers left, I formation. Man in motion coming to the near side and setting up. That's Scott. And Hester is given the football, and Jacob Hester plows down inside the 15 to about the 14-yard line. Nice gain on 1st down. They're just running right at Tulane now.
And Jim, as Jordy alluded to earlier in the game, you notice, as you mentioned, Charles Scott still in the game.
Yeah, he's been there most of the time.
That's Charles Scott. That's number 32. That's not 25. That's not 22. That's not any of those other numbers who've been playing a lot. You think the message is being sent loud and clear?
Yeah, that's not 25 or 22. Yeah, you're right. Man in motion, that is Scott, comes out and sets up on the near side. Hester's the lone running back. He's handed the ball again, and he's got a chance. He's inside the 10, down to the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal to go. That's the 20th 1st down for LSU in the ball game, and it is beginning to look awfully easy. 1st and goal to go at the 5-yard line. Hester was tackled by Morton. And here's a guy who has a really familiar name. His name is Oscar Ponce de Leon. That's unusual. All right, lone receiver flanked out to the far side. That is Brandon LaFell. Again, Scott comes out and flanks out over on the right side. Hester, the lone running back, and Flynn dropped the football. Picks it up himself, though, and he's running to the far side. He's at the 5, and he is in for the score. Now that's what Matt Flynn brings to the table at quarterback. He is so fast. He can run the football so well. He dropped it, picked it up, slanted to the left side, and outran everybody into the end zone.
It was a bad snap from center. The center exchange from Brett Helms to Matt Flynn was not clean at all. Flynn, rather than falling on the ball, picked it up and figured, I may be able to do something here, and he did. Sprinted to the left sideline, outran a couple of defenders, broke a tackle into the end zone, touchdown.
He'll hold for Cole David, who's been busy tonight. And there is the kick. My goodness. Doug, I don't know if I've ever seen a receiver that has such a sweet swing at the ball as Cole David. He looks like Tiger Woods using a pitching wedge. Just as sweet as it can be, right through the uprights. And with 5:21 to play in the 3rd, it's LSU 42, Tulane 0 on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Let's go, Ray! This guy's on my fantasy team.
Let's deal in reality. Why don't you have Singular?
Because I'm too busy calculating this guy's stats and knowing that he wore number 32 in high school.
But with Singular's all-over network, you'll be part of the largest digital voice and data network in America.
Uh-huh.
You know Singular.
Yep.
More bars in more places.
Cool.
You could be calling real people.
Like the 2 guys in my fantasy league?
Like over 57 million people, the largest mobile-to-mobile calling community.
Wow, that's a lot of wheeling and dealing.
Singular, raising the bar.
Coverage not available in all areas. The all-over network covers over 273 million people and is growing. Mobile-to-mobile available on select plans.
These in-car cameras we have are great. I can document probable cause, then the fuel sobriety, the arrest. You couldn't ask for a better witness than this videotape.
If you're thinking about drinking then driving, well, you might want to think about how you're going to look to a judge. Because when you drink and drive and we show the judge your videotape, chances are real good you'll lose.
These cameras give a whole new meaning to the phrase, see you in court.
Contact 60130 on tag 2.
5:21 to play in the third quarter. And here is the U.S. Agency's scoring drive. 3 plays, all runs, 19 yards following the fumble recovery. Matt Flynn ran it in from 5 yards out. It used 1:35. The point after by Cole David, and it's 42-0 LSU. Tigers now have 343 total yards to 103 for Tulane. Carve up some premium flavor with 3 new gourmet turkey subs at Subway restaurants for a limited time. Carved all wheat meat turkey. Now that is eating fresh, only at Subway restaurants. Subway. Eat fresh.
Now, Jim, LSU's challenge for the rest of the game?
Score 20 points.
20 points. Exactly 20. 2 field goals, or else you have to miss an extra point, but do it on purpose. You want 2 field goals and 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points, which will end up being 62 points.
That'll be the 3rd time, will it not?
Fourth time.
Fourth time that LSU, if that happens, which it could. All right, Chris Jackson, hurt toe and all, will kick it away again. And it keeps coming up shorter. That toe may really be hurting. He takes it in at the 8, to the 10, to the 15, and he breaks through, runs over one tackler up to the 27-yard line. That is Fred Smith of Tulane. And the Tigers had several people beating on him. Jacob Cotrera was one of them. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Tulane, and they're trying to decide where to put it, I think, around the 26-yard line. Well, we don't know the extent of Lester Ricard's injury, but we do know that he probably will not play anymore the rest of the night. Elliott is in at quarterback and has been since Ricard got injured. Receivers on both sides. And here's a play-action fake. Elliott is being chased. He throws it away. And he did it just at the right time as he was hit very hard back around the 15-yard line by, I believe, that was Ricky Jean-Francois, who's been all over the place.
He has been everywhere. He's really developed quickly into a good defensive lineman and is going to be an outstanding defensive lineman very, very quickly if he continues this pace.
6'3", 280-pound redshirt freshman. Elliott is 2 for 10 for 18 yards, and it's 2nd and 10 for Tulane at their 26. 2 receivers left and 1 right. Boudreaux is the lone running back. And Elliott will go under center. Looks over the line of scrimmage. Now a short drop to throw. He does throw, and it is caught and down just short of the first down. That's just a quick look-in pass thrown very well to DeMarcus Davis, right on the money, and Davis caught it and was tackled immediately, but it's a nice gainer for Tulane. He was hit by Zenon just as he caught it, and it is 3rd down and 1, just short of the 35-yard line. 4:30 to play in the third quarter. 42-0 LSU all over Tulane. And the Greenies hustle up to the line of scrimmage. Receivers on both sides, split back formation. And straight ahead, that ball is loose again. Tulane got it, but I don't believe they got it in where it would be a first down. It was going to be a quarterback sneak by Elliott, and the ball came out. And Boudreaux may have been the one to recover it, and they lost about a half yard on it. So now it's 4th down and a yard, and Tulane will kick it out of there. That'll be Pepper. Now, the Tigers are going to send in to receive the kick Buster Davis for the first time. He's replaced Chevis Jackson. Davis standing back around the 25. And Pepper is standing at about the 21-yard line for Tulane. There's a snap. The Tigers are coming after this one. That's a very bad end-over-end wobbly kick. That's going to take a good Tulane roll and will stop it around the LSU 25-yard line. A 40-yard kick. You know, Pepper's punts have been as ugly as any as you've ever seen, but he's gotten some good results because he's kicking it away from the Tiger receivers and kicking it very low, and it gets to the ground quickly. So LSU will start.
That's a nice
at
way.
The 25.
That's a nice way of saying, Jim, that he's kicking it so bad no one can believe it. He's always gotten the roll.
Well, here come the Tigers, and Matt Flynn is back in. Keelan Williams is also checked into the ball game for the first time at running back for LSU. 2 receivers to the right side. I formation. Flynn under center. 1st and 10 at the Tiger 25. He's going to throw it, and he does. It is caught by Mitchell, and he spins away for about a 2 or 3 yard gain up to around the 27 or 28 yard line. That was a Jared Mitchell who made the catch. And he was knocked off his feet immediately, but a gain on the play of about 3 yards. This is a young man that's going to be a very good player at LSU also. Defensively, it was Wacha, Alex Wacha, the cornerback, who made the stop. 2nd down and 7 as we are under 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. 2 receivers left and 1 right. Hester is the lone running back. Matt Flynn under center. Straight drop to throw. Fires it very badly in the direction of Bo. Threw it well behind him, and he had to try to come back and get it incomplete. It'll be 3rd down. Tigers had 2 receivers over there, and really when the ball was released, you couldn't tell which one he was throwing to, but and actually didn't throw to either one of them. It was uncatchable in the direction of Bo.
He was wide of Bo. You know, and Flynn has a good arm, a strong arm, but no one else has the arm Russell does, and it's amazing when you see the different flight of the ball when one or the other throws it. It's dramatically different.
3rd down and 7, shotgun formation, 4 receiver pattern, but they're not flanked out very wide. Flynn is in deep trouble and throws it, and that's another very bad pass. Incomplete up around the 31 yard line in the direction of Mitt Cole, and that wasn't close. And so it'll be 4th down, and LSU will have to punt it. And Chris Jackson will come in to punt the ball away.
Well, that was not very good because the last 2 plays were about as poorly executed as any pass plays LSU has run this game. Chris Jackson back into punt, but the worst thing about it is the clock stopped twice.
2:38 to play in the 3rd quarters. Fred Smith is standing back around the Tulane 28 yard line. Chris Jackson is standing at the LSU 13. There is the snap. And Jackson has hit a high, wobbly spiral, and a fair catch is called for and taken by Smith at around the Tulane 36 yard line. And so that's where they'll start. 36 yards, no return. Let's see if we have a timeout down there. And no, apparently not. 2:30 to go in the 3rd. It's been LSU all the way. Doucette has 3 touchdowns. Charles Scott has scored 2. And Matt Flynn has scored 1. Tiger defense got to hurry up and get out there on the field. As the Greenies are ready to go with Elliott at quarterback. 2 receivers left and 1 right, lone running back. And he has handed the football, and he's got a lot of running room to the outside. LSU is all bunched in the middle, and Forte is knocked out of bounds down around the LSU 47 yard line. That was not Forte, that was Ray Boudreaux, number 22.
And Boudreaux stepped to the outside, got the corner on LSU, as you mentioned, Jim. Everybody bunched it inside. They're not supposed to. That's not the way any defense is designed. Chris Hawkins actually should have been a guy who was coming from outside in to make the tackle. He got trapped inside, and once Boudreaux got outside of him, he was outside of everyone.
Shotgun formation. And Tulane will send 2 receivers flanked out to the right, 1 to the left near side. There's a snap. Elliott is in the pocket, and he is wrestled down. Outstanding defensive play by Marlon Favorite, who has had a good ball game, a good, solid defensive game for LSU. Wrestled him down back at the Tulane 44 yard line. And wrestle him down is exactly what he did. He just grabbed him, waltzed him around, and slammed him to the turf. And it'll be 2nd down and 19 now for Tulane, with the clock running with 1:44 to play in the game that LSU leads 42-0. 3 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Boudreaux, the lone running back, in the shotgun. Elliott drops to throw. Does throw, and it is complete. Breaking 1 tackle and then another, and boy, he's got a lot of room to run because the Tigers missed a lot of tackles that time, and he has the 1st down all the way down to the LSU 36 yard line. That is Brian King. And he did a nice job after he caught the football, as LSU did not tackle well on that play.
It was an inside screen by King. Took the reception, got to the middle of the field, broke a couple of tackles, and then cut back to the sideline. Finally brought down by Danny McCray over there, but he picked up the first down at the 36 of LSU.
1:07 to play in the third quarter. Two receivers right. Tulane looks a little fired up after coming up with that big third down play. Lone running back, and he has the ball. That is Forte, and he's stacked up at the 35. Got about a yard, and that's it. And again, it was Danny McCray who made the stop. Sammy Joseph also around there. And a gain on the play of about 2 yards brings up 2nd and 8 at the LSU 34-yard line. Tigers got a lot of new players in there. Ryan Willis is in. We'll try to get some numbers for you. Tremaine Johnson is in there. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers left. And Forte, the running back for the Greenies. Elliott with the football, drops to throw. Being chased out of the pocket, does throw, and it is intercepted. I believe that is Stelz. He's at the 30, 35, at the 40, still going, 45, 50, 45. He's at the 40 and got a chance. At the 30, it's a foot race. He is going to be tackled at the 7-yard line.
What a terrific run back. Craig Stelz with a fine interception coming from deep in the secondary, playing the center field position on a pass that was overthrown.
And that will end the third quarter, Doug. We'll talk about that outstanding, exciting play when we return with the start of the fourth quarter. LSU will have it goal to go, leading 42-0 on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Hey, we're live inside the stadium. Why are you still on dial-up instead of high-speed internet?
Hey, sit down. High-speed internet's expensive.
Steal! Actually, Bell South Fast Access DSL is a steal because it's as low as $24.95 a month, and there's no introductory pricing, guaranteed.
But is it fast?
Go! Fast Access DSL Extreme 6.0 has downstream speeds up to 6 meg, which is up to 100 times faster than standard dial-up, and easy to install.
Easy and fast?
I said fast! Yup, you can download a CD in under a minute.
I want that. Ooh. And those peanuts. Hey, over here.
Stop waiting. Call today and toss that dial-up. Get Bell South Fast Access DSL for as low as $24.95 a month and get $75 cash back on select speeds at bellsouth.com or call 866-DSL-POWER. Plus, order online and you can get a free DSL modem. Bell South. Listening? Answering. Price for new residential Fast Access DSL Lite. Available on request to existing customers. Taxes, fees, and other charges apply. Subject to geographic and other restrictions. Free DSL modem after rebate with 12-month commitment. Reward redemption required for cashback offer.
Okay, you've been paying way too much for car insurance, and that's gonna stop. Just call U.S. Agencies. And here's the kicker. U.S. Agencies could save you as much as 25% with both low down payments and low monthly payments. So what are you waiting for? Get on over to any neighborhood location. Just call 1-800-958-8545 for the location nearest you. U.S. Agencies. Low-cost auto insurance that lets you enjoy the ride.
All right, we'll start the fourth quarter. 1st and goal, LSU at the Tulane 6-yard line. The Tigers in the red zone and moving ahead like the Louisiana Economic Development. Lone receiver flanked out to the left. That is Brandon LaFell in an I formation. Matt Flynn is back in at quarterback. That was a 76-yard return of the interception by Craig Stelz, his 3rd pick of the year. All right, Matt Flynn under center. Long count. Hands the ball to Hester. Hester bounces to the outside. Turns the corner. Heads for the pylon. Did he get in? Yes! Touchdown! Hester's 2nd effort. Got it in the end zone on the far side.
Hester showed some quickness. He took the ball at right tackle. That's where it was designed to go. Nothing there. And so he stepped outside, got the corner, and sprinted to the flag and dove. Held the ball over the pylon for the touchdown before he went out of bounds.
And this is not Cole David. This is Ryan Goday, I believe, who is, and it is Goday who will try for the point after. And there's the snap. and Gode hit it. He hits it a lot harder than David, but the same result. And with 14:53 to play in the game, it is LSU 49, Tulane nothing on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
The Southeastern Conference represents the best in intercollegiate athletics. Last year, the SEC produced 6 national champions and finished in the Final Four in 14 of 20 sports finishes, while sending 159 league teams to postseason competition. In addition, 460 SEC student athletes earned first-team All-America honors, and 71 young men and women were crowned individual national champions. The Southeastern Conference, equipping tomorrow's leaders today. The ultimate source for SEC merchandise online is SECstore.com. With more than 6,000 items, this exciting superstore features the best selection of conference and school apparel and collectibles. Authentic SEC Champions locker room caps and t-shirts are available online exclusively at SECstore.com, along with specially designed products for ladies and children. Be sure to check out the weekly promotions and the best selection of SEC merchandise on the World Wide Web at SECstore.com.
Now here's the U.S. Agency's scoring drive, and this one's very simple. One play, 6 yards. Took 7 seconds for Hester to get it in the end zone, and the point after by Ryan Gode makes it 49-0 LSU. Here's some stats for you. In the third quarter, LSU had 86 yards, Tulane 36. Overall, the Tigers have 346 and the Greenies 141. 20 first downs for LSU, 10 for Tulane. Tigers have run for 145, passed for 201, and Tulane has run for 49, passed for 92. So the stats are about as lopsided as the scoreboard, which says LSU 49 and Tulane nothing. And this is the most points that the Tigers have scored this year. They got, of course, 45 in the first 2 ball games versus Arizona and ULL. And only managed a field goal last week, but got 49 tonight. Now the defense, again, has just been superb, and Ryan Gode will kick it away. And Chris Jackson will get to rest that sore toe. Back deep for Tulane is Boudreaux and Fred Smith. As Gode will kick it off from right to left. 14:53 still to go in this game. Goudet only one kickoff this year. It was a touchback. This one's going to come up close. Down to the 4, back to the 5, to the 10, and to the 15, and up to the 25-yard line. Lunges Smith on the return. Number 13, Fred Smith. And he is tackled at about the 27-yard line, and Tulane will start there. LSU sluggish to start the second half, Doug, but boy, once they got going, they've just scored at will.
Well, Tulane's had it.
Yeah. They're about done. Who's that in the quarterback now? That's Cannon, isn't it? Number 6? No, number 9? We don't need that's Anthony Selfo. And there's a flag on the play. He was not listed in the 3D depth chart.
Penalty, still first down.
So Tulane's going to get a lot of new people in there. That's fullback was in motion, I believe. That was the penalty. Moves it back to the 20. And so it'll be 1st and 15. Anthony Selfo, redshirt freshman from New Orleans, is the quarterback. 2 receivers left and 1 right. And here is the handoff, and straight up the middle for a very short game is Ade Tuyo. He is a 6 foot, 215-pound junior from Houston, Texas. He got about 2. It'll be 2nd down and 13 from the 23-yard line. Sammy Joseph made the stop for LSU. Tigers got 14 in the first quarter, 14 in the second quarter, and 14 in the third. Shotgun formation. Selfo rolling to the left, fires it. It is caught, I believe, in a rolling catch up around the 30-yard line. The ball was thrown very low, and it was caught by Batiste. Will bring up third down, and still about 7 yards for a first down. Batiste caught it and rolled at they say the 28-yard line. The Greenies will send 3 receivers out to the right and 1 to the left. Tuyo is the running back there with Selfo. They're out of shotgun formation. He rolls to the near side and is going to try to turn the corner. And he got close to the first down and then is hit and driven all the way back to the 30. But they give him his forward progress, and he got the first down at the 36. Sammy Joseph hit him, and someone else came over and helped and punished him and pushed him back. But nice job by Selfo to scramble out of that and pick up the first down. Clock is running, 12:34, and ticking away to go in the game. 49-0 LSU. 3 receivers left and 1 right. Tuyo is a running back there with Selfo. There's the snap. Tuyo is handed the football. Flag goes down as Tuyo goes down at about the line of scrimmage. You may have gotten a yard. We'll see what the flag is all about. The gear you need and the colors you bleed. For all of your Tiger gifts and LSU apparel, shop Co-op Bookstore, located in the shadows of Tiger Stadium at 3960 Burbank Drive here in Baton Rouge, or on the web at coopbookstore.com. Let's see what happened.
84 on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
All right. So the Tigers are offsides. Moves the ball up to the 41, and it'll be 1st and 5. And the clock will start running again with 12:06 to play. Shotgun formation for Tulane. 4 receiver pattern, 2 on both sides. Selfo is in at quarterback and joined back there by Tuyo. Waiting on the snap, and there it is. He's going to run it himself. And he is thrown down very hard on a one-handed, one-arm tackle for LSU.
Tim Washington.
I mean, he threw Selfo viciously to the ground, and it is 2nd down and 5. No gain on the play.
Lined up at left end, came in at an angle. Selfo tried to turn it upfield to run it, and Washington just grabbed him and spun him around like a rag doll, Jim. Looked like.
Selfo is not very big, but he does have, he's shifty, and he does have speed.
He would need it.
He would need it. Those are big people out there. 2 receivers left and 1 right. Shotgun formation. 2nd down and 5. There's the snap. And Selfo's off to the races again. And he's wiggling his way down into LSU territory at the 49-yard line. And that's just something that the Tigers did not see out of the other quarterbacks out there. And that is the ability to run the football. And he's picked up another first down at the 49-yard line in LSU territory. He's got very good movement and runs the ball very well. McCray again made the stop for LSU, and the Greenies are in Tiger territory with 10:46 to play in the game. Tuyo, the lone running back, and this time Selfo will go under center. 2 receivers right and 1 left. Play action fake, and there's the end around. There's nobody over there. He is off and running and all the way down to the LSU 34-yard line. Tigers got completely caught that time and had no idea that one was coming. The end around, I think that was Jeremy Williams, number 20, who carried the ball around the far side, and LSU simply had nobody over there to defend that whatsoever. And Daniel Francis came over and made the stop. Let's go to Jordy.
Well, remember the last time LSU, when they played Arizona, they tried to get Ryan Perilloux into the game with about 8 minutes to go. What happened? They make their one long drive of the game and take off about 7 minutes of the clock. This is kind of reminiscent because Perillou's warming up. Tulane's not coming off the field.
2 receivers right, out of the shotgun, and there is a flag on the play. Well, the Tigers, I don't think, have a single defensive starter down there.
78, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That is whistled on Nick Landry, who is a 285-pound offensive lineman from Beaumont, Texas. That moves it back to the LSU 41, and we are under 10 minutes to play in the game now. 49-0 LSU. Tigers are going to go to 3-1 on the year. Two receivers left and one right. Shotgun formation for the Selfo. Straight back to throw. He throws it down the far sidelines. Incomplete around the 30-yard line. He actually threw it behind, DeMarcus Davis. And it goes out of bounds and stops the clock. And will bring up 2nd down and 5. Visit your local Southern Quality Ford dealer and test drive a versatile 2007 Sport Track, which comes with an available V8 engine. The 2007 Sport Track, the perfect vehicle to help you tackle whatever is on your schedule. And the Louisiana Lottery is a proud sponsor of LSU athletics. 2nd down, 15. Shotgun formation, two receivers right and one left. Selfo fakes the pass and hands the ball off, and getting 5 yards is a Tuyo on the carry. Back to the original line of scrimmage. Will bring up 3rd down and 10. At about the LSU 36-yard line, actually 3rd down and 11. Ricky Jean-Francois is credited with a stop that time. Clock is running with 9:05 to play in the game. 49-0, Tigers lead. 4 receiver pattern, 2 on each side. Shotgun formation. And in motion to the near side. Selfo with the ball, rolling to the near side. Is being chased. He will throw, and it's caught at the 25, all the way down to the LSU 18-yard line. Be 1st down, Tulane on this drive with Selfo back there and so much more mobile than Ricard or Elliott. Has done an excellent job of moving Tulane down to their deepest penetration in LSU territory, the 16-yard line, and he is so quick that the Tigers just can't get back there to him.
Nicely executed, and a good pass on the run. Difficult pass to throw as he was sprinting full speed to the right. Laid it out perfectly for Jeremy Williams, who had gotten a step and a half on Daniel Francis, and made the reception for the 1st down at the LSU 16-yard line.
Receivers on both sides, out of the shotgun formation. Selfo with a fake. He throws it towards the end zone, and it is incomplete, in and out of the hands of the receiver Davis, but a flag went down around the 15-yard line, and I think LSU has committed another infraction.
Well, this is going to make some folks unhappy. The LSU on the play was fortunate.
90 on the defense, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
LSU was fortunate that Davis didn't hang on to the ball because it would have been a touchdown, the penalty being on LSU. But Tulane still got the 5 yards in there.
You know, you can't be too unhappy. LSU's getting some people some playing time. This is not the #1 defense in there. So if Tulane is going to score, so what?
But the unhappy people are going to be the second defense. These guys.
Well, no, I understand.
Because they don't want to give up the points.
I understand that.
They want to keep that
and maybe they will.
Amazing
it is amazing.
Per game average down as low as they can.
They are at the 11, 1st and 5. It'll take a great effort here to keep Tulane off the board. Selfo on a delay handoff. And nothing there for Anderson. Ryan Willis in on the stop. Well, obviously LSU's only given up 1 touchdown all year. This year.
This is the response.
They would love to continue that, but if it doesn't happen, that's Ricky Jean-Francois again. Don't be too unhappy. They're playing everybody they can.
Oh, I'm not unhappy.
No, I'm
saying they would be
I know
unhappy.
you're not. Tulane has now over 200 yards, 208.
Although I would like 13 more points.
I know you would. 4 receiver pattern out of the shotgun. Selfo has Anderson back there with him. There's a snap. Selfo's going to toss it out to Anderson, who's trying to get to the corner, and he doesn't make it. Ryan Willis rammed him out of bounds along with Daniel Francis.
Very nice play by both of those guys.
Right. That'll stop the clock with 7:40. No, it doesn't. I thought he went out of bounds.
I thought
myself.
so, too.
But they're not stopping the clock.
Well,
he was out of bounds without question. But the clock, I think Jordy talked him into that. It'll be 3rd down and about 7 now at the LSU 12, and the clock is running. Tulane has had the ball for most of the 4th quarter. It started back at their 27. Shotgun formation, 3 receivers right and 2 left, 5 receiver pattern. Selfo, plenty of time to throw into the end zone, batted away and intercepted. Stay down, take a knee, and he did. It was batted into the air and intercepted by Danny McCray.
And Jacob Couture, I believe, is the one that batted it, Jim. the freshman linebacker, dropping back, batted the ball right before it reached the receiver's hands, and Danny McCray alertly saw the ball batted up there, made the interception, so LSU withstood the barrage.
They certainly did. Timeout of the ball game, 7:05 to go. It's LSU 49, Tulane nothing on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
The Southeastern Conference is committed to the welfare of all its student athletes. Last year, the SEC distributed more than $2.1 million from the NCAA Special Assistance Fund and the NCAA Student Athlete Opportunity Fund. These programs exist to provide direct financial benefit to student athletes competing in all 20 SEC-sponsored sports. The Southeastern Conference, equipping tomorrow's leaders today. During the past 74 years, the Southeastern Conference has established the most outstanding college football tradition in the country. The 12-member institutions have combined for an unprecedented 343 bowl appearances. Key to the success of SEC football is support of the many loyal fans who have helped the conference lead the nation in total attendance for 25 consecutive years. The SEC salutes the more than 6 million fans who will attend a game at an SEC stadium this year.
Well, Tulane had it 7 minutes and 48 seconds. LSU's only run one play in the fourth quarter, and that was the Hester touchdown run. And now they get it back with 7:05 to go, and Ryan Perilou is in the ball game, as we had suspected. And we'll get a chance to quarterback the team. 49-0, LSU. It has been all Tigers from the very beginning, much as everybody suspected. I think the line on LSU was 36. And it is a 49-point deficit right now. Mississippi State next week at 11:30. Mississippi State won in overtime, beat UAB last week. Tonight, 16-10. Perilou drops to throw, and he fires it and one hops it incomplete over on the near side in the direction of Chris Mitchell. Vanderbilt beat Tennessee State 38-9 tonight. As you know, Arkansas beat Alabama in overtime by 1 earlier this afternoon. Wake Forest beat Ole Miss tonight. We'll get it 27-3. Two receivers to the left. Man in motion going to the far side is Perilou on 2nd and 10 under center. Hands the ball away, and this is Keelan Williams. Let's see who this is for LSU. No, this is Quinn Johnson. Quinn Johnson, a sophomore from Edgard, on the carry, and he gets 4 or 5 yards up to around the 25. South Carolina beat Florida Atlantic. Georgia came back from behind to beat Colorado today. What happened with Florida? Florida's going to beat Kentucky. They're ahead 26-7. All right, 3rd down and 6. And there's a flag, and LSU may have an illegal formation there. We'll see what that is.
Try the snap, ball start. 71 on the offense.
No, it's
5-yard penalty.
False start for Carnell Stewart. 6'5", 310-pound junior from River Ridge. So it's 3rd down and 11 now. Russell was tremendous tonight. Matt Flynn did a nice job in the little time that he was in, and Ryan Perilou is in there now here in the fourth quarter. And it is 3rd down and 11, and the Tigers will go out of the shotgun. 3 receivers to the left. There's the snap. Perilou running to the near side. He throws on the run, and it is caught. Or did he hang on?
Out of bounds.
He was out of bounds when he caught it. That was Mitchell again over on the near sidelines. And so LSU will have to punt it away with 4th down and 11. At least I would think they would. Since the line of scrimmage is the LSU 20-yard line. And Chris Jackson will go in to punt it away. Tulane will send Fred Smith back around the 30-yard line. It was 14-0 at the end of the first quarter, 28-0 at the half, 42-0 coming into the fourth. It's 49-0 right now. Jackson standing at the 5-yard line. 5:42 left to play in the game. And waiting on the snap, but it's right on the money. And Jackson has hit a nice high wobbly spiral. And Smith is going to take it in at the 29-yard line. He gets by the Tiger Gunners. Zenon misses him, and he's still going down the far sidelines. He's finally wrapped up down at the LSU 41-yard line by number 45, Quinn Johnson. That's a 51-yard punt, but a very nice return. And Zenon just missed him, and he's walking off the field with the looking like he's got a shoulder problem. His right shoulder is Zenon. All right, first and 10, Tulane at the LSU 41-yard line.
Well, that was not the kind of punt coverage LSU would like folks to have.
That's correct. And Selfo will be back in there. I guess there was a timeout called that I did not see. The teams ran out there and lined up. They're standing there ready, but at some point the official called a timeout. Well, all right, we'll take it. We'll be right back on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
I hold a world of power in my hands. It's the power of parenting. That's why I don't allow alcohol parties for my son and his friends, no matter the occasion. Sure, he only turns 18 once, and he only graduates high school once, but it's never okay to celebrate with a drinking party. It's illegal and irresponsible. From one parent to another, exercise your power. Prevent. Don't provide alcohol to minors. A message from Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
When you think about it, bank locations are a lot like touchdowns. You can never get enough of them. And the more you have, the more you get the urge to celebrate in a highly personal way. But let's not go there. So the next time you do business at any of Regions Bank's 1,400 branches or 1,600 ATM locations, don't be ashamed if you break into that victory dance. Regions Bank, official bank of the SEC, and proud sponsor of the LSU Sports Radio Network. Member FDIC.
All right, here we go. First and 10, Tulane. Selfo is back in at quarterback, out of the shotgun. Two receivers right and one left. And he fakes the handoff, and he keeps it himself. And LSU just cannot do anything with him when he does that. And he's all the way down inside the 23-yard line. Tigers are completely not used to having a quarterback who does that. And they totally commit to the handoff, and Selfo just keeps it himself, and off he goes, and he's been getting big hunks of yards. Jason Spadoni made the stop down at the LSU 23-yard line. He simply fakes a handoff and takes off the other way himself. LSU keeps nobody over there whatsoever to defend him. Two receivers left and one right out of the shotgun. So man coming to the near side. Selfo has the ball, and this time he gives it away, and it is to Tuyo, I believe. And when that happens, LSU defends it very well. But when he fakes that handoff and takes off himself, Tigers have a tough time stopping it.
He's a good little athlete.
He's very good athlete.
He's small to be in this game, but he's quick, he's fast, and has a feel for it. He's a quarterback. You can tell he's a quarterback. He plays the position as if he fully understands it.
Gain on the play of about 3 yards. Contreras and others in on the stop for LSU. Second down at about 7. Shotgun formation, two receivers right and one left. And here is Selfo rolling. He wants to throw towards the end zone, and he does. Oh, that's an interference. Very, very obvious interference call on Sammy Joseph. He just grabbed hold of the Tulane receiver, much like we saw last week.
Oh, wait a minute. No, wait a minute.
Don't do it. Don't go there.
Wait. Watch. When the pass, after it goes over his head, I think it got tipped.
No, it didn't get tipped. It got tipped by the guy who was trying to catch it,
but
couldn't because Joseph was tackling him. So that is a correct interference call.
I think you can interpret that rule any way that you want if you can interpret it the way they did last week.
We got to quit talking about last week. It's over. It's done.
No, that was pass interference.
Can't get that back. Absolutely.
That was pass interference.
And it's first and goal to go at the 6-yard line. So again, the Tiger reserves are to be tested here if they can keep that streak of not allowing only one touchdown this year live. But again, like I said last time, it'll take a heck of a job However, they did it. They intercepted a ball in the end zone. Tulane fans are excited. Listen to it. 4-receiver pattern. Selfo is back there by himself in the shotgun. And he wants to, now he's going to run it himself, and he just about got it in. He may have. There goes a flag down. That might be a face mask call on LSU, as the Tigers have just not been able to contain the speed of the young Tulane quarterback. Wills and Dazelle made the stop. Let's see what the call is. Normally at the tackle,
foul, face
that's
mask.
what I thought.
Automatic first down.
So Tulane now only needs about 6 inches to score a touchdown against LSU, and only Auburn was able to do that. However, this is not the same group of guys out there that the other teams could not score against. First and goal to go from the half-yard line with 3:39 to play. I formation. They got Forte and Boudreaux both in the game right now. Selfo straight ahead. He didn't have to get but about 6 inches.
I think he got it.
I can't see how he could possibly have not gotten it, but they're going to unpile him, and now they say he did get it, and it is a Tulane touchdown. And you know, you're really tip of the hat to the little guy who came in there. And I mean, they would not have done that had it not been for his ability to scramble around.
No, he came in and sparked him. He threw the ball well. He made big running plays, and he handled our offense very well. Good fake. You got to give him credit. You know, give credit to the Tulane team for not folding. Because they were ready to fold.
Yeah.
And he came in there and picked him up.
And so, try for the point after. Ross Theveno, number 47, kicks it through. And so, with 3:21 to play in the ball game, it is LSU 49, Tulane 7. We'll be right back on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Tiger fans, Best Western has an offer for you. How'd you like to win tickets to LSU's regular season finale in Death Valley? To enter, visit bestwesternlouisiana.com for your chance to win tickets to watch the Tigers against Ole Miss on November 18th at Tiger Stadium, plus a Best Western travel card and an LSU Sports gift pack. For more details, visit bestwesternlouisiana.com or call 1-800-WESTERN for your opportunity to cheer on the Tigers. Good luck and go Tigers. Additional terms and conditions apply.
And while there's a short break in the action, let's talk schedule. Next week, we're at home taking on 1,300 pounds of sod.
That's a load.
Yeah, then the following Saturday, we're away camping with the kids.
Should be a real marshmallow burner there.
Uh-huh. And a week later, the in-laws are coming to town.
Hey, always entertaining. Just going to have to let them know they're in our house.
Absolutely.
The 2007 Sport Track. With an available V8, its largest cargo bed ever, and refined, quieter interior, it's perfect for your tough schedule. See it at your local Southern Quality Ford dealer.
And so the Greenies get on the board, 41 yards in 3 plays. Most of that was done by Selfo, and it took them 2:05 to do it. Tulane will kick off to LSU now. From left to right with 3:21 to play in the game. There's the kick, and it is taken in at the 7. Back to the 10, to the 15, and up to about the 27-yard line on the return. That's a Trendon Holiday on the return. Boy, he is fast. And he got it up to the, let's see where they're going to put it down.
And he was getting ready to break out in
Yeah,
the open field.
He was just about
and he got
there.
one of his blockers stepped right
29.
in front of him and kind of tripped him up.
At the 29-yard line, and Ryan Pearlou will lead the Tigers back out there as we are coming up on the 3-minute mark. High formation, lone receiver to the left. Pearlou under center and hands the ball away. This is Williams, I believe. And there's no place to go. Keelan Williams, don't think got back to the line of scrimmage. May have, but if he did, that's about it. And it'll be second down and a little over 10. All right, here is tonight's answer from the Verizon Wireless text to win promotion. The answer was A, 1922. In the fall of 1922, the Tigers defeated Tulane 25-14. Overall, the Tigers have a very good record in homecoming contests. Tune in next week to play and have a chance to win a prize from Verizon Wireless. And a reminder that tonight's game sponsor is Cox Communications, your friend in the digital age. I formation, lone receiver to the left. Here's a handoff again. This is Williams carrying the ball up to around the 35-yard line. And it'll bring up third down and about 3 or 4 with 1:51 to play in the ball game. Tulane will play at home versus TCU, or SMU, I beg your pardon, in the Superdome next week. And LSU will host Mississippi State, who Tulane beat last week and who won tonight at 11:30 next Saturday morning. Third down 4, lone receiver right, I formation. Perlew hands the ball away. Keelan Williams pushes hard, and with second effort, I believe he got the first down around the 40-yard line. Nice job by Williams pushing his way over the offensive right side for the first down up around the 40. Quintua and several other greenies in on the stop. LSU probably only have to run about 2 more plays, and this one will be done and go in the books. Lone receiver left, I formation. Perlew under center, hands it to Williams again, and he fights hard and gets up to the 44-yard line. Gets 4 to be 2nd and 6. That'll probably do it. LSU may not run another play. Kirksey and others in on the stop.
And they won't have to.
Don't have to run it again. It's just now signaled ready for play. But apparently they will. And who is that in there at quarterback?
Welker, I'm sure.
Yeah, it must be.
James Welker.
James Welker is going to get to run a play here. And he hands it off to Keelan Williams, and he goes down at the 46, and the ball game is over. Ball game is over. The final score, LSU 49 and Tulane 7. The Tigers, the number 10 ranked team in the nation, goes to 3-1 on the year with the win here tonight. And it was all LSU. The Tigers scored 14 in each of the first 3 quarters, got 1 in the fourth quarter, and the final score, LSU 49, Tulane 7. Our postgame show will begin right after this timeout on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Provoke your taste buds with Subway Restaurant's new gourmet turkey subs. Succulent all-white meat roasted turkey with 3 savory sauces, honeyed barbecue, Siciliano, and Asian glazed. For a limited time at participating restaurants. Subway. Eat fresh. Subway is a registered trademark of Doctors Associate Inc. Provoke your taste buds with Subway Restaurant's new gourmet turkey subs. Succulent all-white meat roasted turkey with 3 savory sauces, honeyed barbecue, Siciliano, and Asian glazed. For a limited time at participating restaurants. Subway. Eat fresh. Subway is a registered trademark of Doctors Associate Inc.
Bill, got a second? Sure, I'll call a timeout. Fine. Did you do an end zone dance when you got an email this morning? Yeah, I love that! Yeah, well, we don't. Now, you've been trying to start the wave in meeting.
Team's counting on me! Go team!
Hey, you're freaking the team out.
The Real Yellow Pages and YellowPages.com from Bell South don't claim to understand sports fanatics, but as the #1 directory in the Southeast, the Real Yellow Pages provides real solutions for things like tailgating supplies, season tickets, and even face paint.
Bill, I need that report by 5.
5, 4, 3!
No, just 5.
High 5!
Statistics provided by Knowledge Networks SRI, Industry Usage Study 2004.
When you think about it, bank locations are a lot like touchdowns. You can never get enough of them. And the more you have, the more you get the urge to celebrate in a highly personal way. But let's not go there. So the next time you do business at any of Regions Bank's 1,400 branches or 1,600 ATM locations, don't be ashamed if you break into that victory dance. Regions Bank, official bank of the SEC, and proud sponsor of the LSU Sports Radio Network. Member FDIC.
Yep, there's nothing like that new car insurance smell.
Wouldn't it be great if you could test drive car insurance? Well, maybe you can.
And look how great it handles around those hairpin turns in your budget.
Check out the company 40 million other drivers trust, State Farm. No one gives more discounts to more drivers or takes better care of you. So call an agent today and kick our tires. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Find a State Farm agent in the Real Yellow Pages from Bell South.
Kevin Ford back at the LaBarge Hotel and Casino Studio Control Room. It's all over in Tiger Stadium. LSU beats Tulane. The final score 49 to 7. This is the Singular Wireless postgame show. Come by Taco Bell and try our new nacho grilled stuffed burrito, carne asada steak, warm nacho cheese sauce, and crunchy tortilla chips wrapped up and grilled to go. For the burrito with a crunch, think outside the bun at Taco Bell. And tonight's game sponsor was Cox Communications, your friend in the digital age. LSU with the victory now improves to 3-1 on the season, and Tulane with the loss falls to 1-2 as the Tigers win it tonight by the final of 49-7. They led 14-0 after one quarter, 28-0 at halftime, and poured it on. Tulane got a touchdown late in the game, and this one ends tonight with LSU winning it by the final of 49-7. We have a break to make up, and we're going to do that right now. And when we come back from this timeout on the Singular Wireless postgame show, we'll take a look at college football today. The scoreboard brought to you by Cox Sports Television. That's next on the LSU